And we're recording. That was perfect timing.
Oh,
All right, so this is After the Rain. Hi, everybody. This is Kyle. This is Desks and Dorks. I'm not going to do the whole intro because we're going to get right into it. I'll let everyone introduce themselves. But I'm Kyle. Hello, welcome. I already said that. So, wow, already off to a great start, baby. Let's go.
Cool.
Colin, you're up next.
I'm Colin Ott. I am Kyle Ott's brother. And hello.
And
That's
a superb gamer, and also part of the first initial, arguably my favorite game of this. Although I don't know, tonight could supplant it, but
I might be the only person other than Kyle here who has played and proctored a game.
I think that's true, actually. That's not just big if true. It is just true.
Anyways, that's me.
And we'll go to no details here.
Yeah, hey, this is Isaac. I'm also a friend of these people. I played this game once beforehand, and I'm excited to play again and hopefully make some good laughs.
And you were
thinking of a name right now, the hardest part of any character creation.
It so is every time. It just is. All right, we'll go to my child.
Hello, I am Gug, aka Nathan. I have been lovingly referred to as Peaks Early, or I refer to myself as Peaks Early, and I'm here to game.
Peaks Early, says the kid who is like not even. Oh my gosh! All right, I can't. Oh, and then I guess we'll go to the man himself.
My name is Randy. I actually have never played After the Rain before, and I'll be honest, I've never actually even read the rule set. So I am what peak performance looks like when we have a noob playing a game. However, I've been playing tabletop RPGs for about 22 years, ever since I was about 11 years old. So I'm excited, and I'm hoping it doesn't disappoint.
I'm hoping to as well. Not disappoint. I'm hoping to disappoint. No. All right. So in any case, this is After the Rain. You can, of course, find the sign up link to this somewhere. I'll make Riley do that work. But yes, you'll find the sign up link somewhere to be notified when the Kickstarter goes live in February. But basically, this is a game where we're going to lose our memories, which is going to be really cool. So I'm actually going to share my screen right now. I'm going to open up a brand new text document because the first thing we need to do is decide our setting and our goal. How are we feeling on settings today? Where are we at? What is the vibe? What is the mood?
I played a game recently called High Noon, which was set in the Old West. So can I request that we play 1930s New York?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm fully on board for that.
All right.
I like that. That's cool.
Not 1030s New York. I don't want to set this during the Puritan times. It's still a Dutch colony, and we're just
10:30 mid-morning after the breakfast rush.
Let's go to Crucible. I called it from John Proctor.
All right, so 1930s New York. So we are like well into the Great Depression at this point. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think I'm going to be. Well, I thought I was once a perfectly legitimate businessman, but I'm not sure anymore.
I love that. So if we're all on board with 1930s New York, the next thing that we need to do is we need to decide our goal. So obviously, After the Rain has plenty of different goals that we could do. We've already done this kind of setting before, where we took on a dreaded rival, which I thought was really cool. You guys can watch that somewhere else. And then the most recent one that I did with Isaac and Nate, get the money was our objective. So I don't want to do a dreaded rival, and I don't want to do get the money. But other than that, I am open to any of the other different things.
Do you want to run through them real quick?
Yeah. So the ones that I have pulled up right now that I thought could maybe be kind of cool tonight were either survive. We haven't really done a survive. We've done escape before, but we've never really done a survive. And I don't know what that would look like in 1930s New York. I don't know what you would have to survive from necessarily yet.
Tommy
but
guns.
I'm sure Tommy guns. It could just be a gang war. That's true.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You guys could just be like running and gunning through a bunch of neighborhoods.
Oh,
just like 1930s Die Hard. Are we just doing 1930s Die Hard?
Sure.
All right. I mean, survive is
a good name.
So there's survive as one of our options. One of the other options is get the object. So very similar to get the money, but there would be something that like all of us are really desperate to get. So for example, like let's say if we were a criminal crew,
Nice.
It might be one. Yeah, it might be a heist to get like
Oh,
not a
heist
heist.
is pretty good though.
I mean, it could-
1930s heist is pretty good.
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
we could do
Oh,
get
man.
We're all
There's-
depressed.
It's Great Depression. There's
Yeah.
a bank here, and it's ripped for the picking. You know.
Oh, I was
Alright.
thinking of a train, but yeah, but Banquet was also pretty good too.
Ooh, a train.
A trolley?
I'm a big fan of train heists. You know,
1930s.
everyone wants to
tram?
find the train.
train
Yeah.
robbery. I'm in on this. This
Ooh.
sounds awesome.
That's dang.
Yeah, everyone
Uh,
knows gold was transported via the tram.
I'm gonna say it's a luxury train. It's like one of those high class ones. So like this is one of the ultra wealthy, the people that even the Great Depression still hasn't hit can still travel on this.
The Rockefellers.
Yes, the Rockefellers, the JP Morgans of the world.
Mm.
man,
And
that'd be
instead of robbing a bunch of money, can we have it be like some sort of object that is worth a ton of money? Just an
Croissants?
individual object, because that
Could
would
be a
make sense for
person?
it to be. Can it be a person?
Yeah,
Yes.
like we just
So
go.
you're
we
saying it's
just
a
go.
kidnapping situation?
Yes.
Yeah,
We're
we
trying to
kidnap
get the
Rockefeller.
heiress of some family.
Oh,
There's
we're
the
doing like
Rockefeller to-
ransom.
Yep. We are
Oh
kidnapping
boy.
a
Sweet.
Rockefeller. We're kidnapping a Rockefeller.
Perfect.
I love this setting. I think this is
Cool.
this is amazing. This
We
is
can
so
work
good.
with that.
So, all right. So our setting is pretty simple. Our goal, get the object. People are not objects, but just so we're all aware, it's a person.
Rockefellers are barely people.
I mean, there are several very prominent labor unions from that era that would 100% agree with you, Nate.
Oh, perfect.
All right. And then now the next thing we have to do is we have to establish our characters. So this is going to be where we create some character concepts. So the first thing you're going to want to do is roll 4 6-sided die. And you're going to want to start choosing your character facets. I actually go get, I have a metal die. I'm going to be right back.
Just using D&D dice roller thingy.
Get a 6, a
I'm,
3, and
I'm
2
using
ones.
the dice roller on Google. You can just type in dice roller and it has one for you. And you can just hover over roll and it'll roll it. I don't know why, but it just does.
I didn't get the metal die. This was
Well, that
fast
would be
to get.
while that would be a smart decision. I do have these neat little metal leaf D6s that I wanted to try out.
Excellent.
I mean, I'd rather roll actual dice, but you know,
Yeah, it's
Google
true.
can do.
all
Got
right.
3 1s and a 6.
All right. So
wow.
obviously, if you have anything lower than a 3, you can bump it to a 3.
Nah, I'm good. I'll keep my shadow
Oh,
on.
good. That makes
Fire
sense.
stuff.
1 turned to a 3.
Things are
then.
not important to me. I've decided.
I rolled
Okay.
really well now.
So then your character is going to be defined by one thing, Colin, and we're just going to see whether or not how it goes.
And it's guns.
I'm going to play if you guys are all right with that instead of just only
Yes.
solo.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
please,
Yes,
please
please.
do.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, because like I mean I love GMing, don't get me wrong, but I want to play. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been looking forward to this for days now. I'm like, these are some of the best people I've ever role played with.
Dude, I was so
Aw.
pumped when you you texted me. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. It's gonna be fun.
Well, Isaac played a wizard in the last campaign that we ran.
It's pretty dope.
Like a full-on wizard who used the rainwater as like power for his magic. It was sweet.
Vane brought the pain, man. You know, that's just what he did.
It was amazing.
It was super fun. It was
All right.
awesome.
So we're doing 1930s New York. And then the last thing I need to make sure that all of us have a connection with the player as well. Just to kind of get that role playing going. Which is gonna be sweet. All right. So I rolled a 6, a 5, and a 2, and I'm going to choose to keep them as is as well, I think. All right. And then I'm going to have, oh, help if I hit Control V, the way that God intended. All right. I have a 6. I have a 5. I have a 2. Colin, would you roll?
6 1 1 1.
Oh, man. So a 6, a 1, and a 1. Nate, what'd you roll?
6, a 3, and a 1.
6, a 3, and a 1. Isaac, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 6, 5, and a 4.
You
Yeah, I
are-
got a 3, 6, 5, and 4. So we went with the top 3. Let's do it.
Interesting. I like it. And then Randy, what did you roll for your?
I
Just
actually
pick,
rolled a 6, 6, 5, 1.
so it's up to you how you'd like it. So the higher the dice, the more important this facet is to your character.
No,
So we
6,
don't-
6, 5, 1.
Sweet. So well, no, you get 3.
I guess
the-
we're not keeping the lower one then.
All right, so 6, 5, and then 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got 665. I can't unless I
Hmm.
can't double up.
So no, you can. So 6, 6, 5 is fine. So the way that this works, instead of character stats, Randy, you have character facets, and those are the driving principles of that character. So, for example, if like someone killed your parents, and you're like, man, that like, and that desire for vengeance has sort of defined your entire life as a person, that would be a 6. If you are just really petty to your local supermarket clerk named Thompson, that'd be like a vengeance at a 1. And it runs the gamut from there. So some of them include, so for example, we have vengeance. That's been one of them. A traumatic past is one of them. Loss is one of them. There is a charge, which is a person to protect, like a son, or when Isaac played a mute giant named
Or a
Joffrey,
Rockefeller heiress.
or a Rockefeller heiress, perhaps. Oh,
That's how we get on board.
could you? Oh my God! So we're not trying to kidnap the heiress, but like the person that you're like you want to protect is like on the train, and she's not the one that we're trying to kidnap.
Or he is trying to kidnap. For
That's up to
love.
you. I love that. Are you cool with that, Randy? Is it part of your as
Yeah,
one of your
whatever.
6s? Well, it's up to you, man. What kind of character you want to play?
Oh, that's fine. Go for it.
So, cause what's her name? We're gonna assume this is
Jill?
like an alternate history.
Jillian.
Lillian,
Jillian.
Jillian,
Yes. Spelled like Jill, but with the Ian at the end.
Jillian Rockefeller. Oh, that's a or not cause, charge. So like there is somebody that you're just dying to protect, and it's Jillian Rockefeller. So you could either be like actually genuinely like reciprocated love, or you could be an obsessed stalker.
That's absolutely what it is. My character's name is Hamastav, by the way. Hammastav,
Okay,
which is Estonian for amazing.
I love it. Just you're like an Estonian immigrant who's like just obsessed with Jillian Rockefeller, and you think she's in love with you.
I saw her on a billboard once with makeup, and ever since then,
This is incredible. That's so cool though, because like
more
now,
of a obsession than a love. But
Yeah.
yeah,
now we have your reason for even wanting to be on the train. Maybe Hamastav's not even in it for like the ransom. I love that though. That's awesome. I don't care what anybody says. That's incredible. All right. Take a look at those rules, Randy, and see what other other obsessions, just other obsessions. See what other facets you would like for your character. I'm trying to think of what I want to do for my character.
Is it possible to have that on screen right now?
I absolutely can. I can totally pause what we've got,
Sweet.
and I can pull up our rule sheet. No problems. I'm really
there's
hoping.
facets. It's on page 9 going into 10, in case
Yep.
anybody was actually curious. You have professions, traumatic past, a trusted companion, and vengeance. A charge, loss, cause, irresistible urges.
Oh no. Oh no. All right. I'm going to. All right. Let me resume share so people can see the glory that is the croissant cube. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, I see the open office writer.
Does everybody see after the rain rules?
No, I see open office writer.
Amazing. Let's just open this as a Google Doc then. Psh. And they said that teaching full distance school was never going to be useful. For shame.
Should we tell him?
Should we tell?
It's still. I think it's frozen.
No, I know. I paused it. I'm gonna open it
Oh,
up as I'm gonna open it up
cool.
as a Google Doc.
I do have one of
Wow.
my facets.
All right. What
Oh,
facet?
there it goes. All right, cool.
All right. Let's do stop share, and then let's do share screen, and then there we go. And here we are. There we are. Look at
Nice.
that. What is one of your facets, Nate?
Vengeance.
Oh boy.
On I just looked up a random Rockefeller name on David Rockefeller.
Okay. What did David
The
Rockefeller? No, that's
He's one of them. I don't know which one, but he's one of them.
dad?
I thought-
So fun fact, my character, I get to come up with the name. I used to work at Chase Manhattan Bank. I remember that off the dome. Definitely did not look that up. So I used to work at Chase Rockefeller Bank, and the Rockefellers being super rich, they were given a heads up about the whole Black Tuesday incident. So David Rockefeller came up to me one day, was like, "Hey, your stocks are going up. You should invest a lot." And since he's a Rockefeller and he works at a bank, I trusted him. Anyway, Black Tuesday happens and he skipped town, and I'm suddenly bankrupt. So I want his head, or to see his family crumble.
That's amazing. All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm just gonna put David Rockefeller because without you will
You
will
don't need to
remember
write.
that.
Do not write all that down.
Just start typing. What's the Kermit gif?
Yeah.
All right. Dude, I almost want to be like, because like 1930s, like the old West was over when, like 1905, 1915.
Yeah.
Like
'cause
when
it
was the West finally won? Was it ever really won? Because like we still have to deal with Arizona all the time, right?
Arizona, huh?
Shout out to all my friends from Arizona. We do actually love you. Like I almost want to be like a really jaded gunslinger who like is like so old and retired and like just crusty. He's just in it for like one. He's just in it for like one last ride before he goes
One
out.
last job.
One last job. He knows he's not gonna retire. Like he's like, no.
He's always a one last job.
Always one last. I'm
One
gonna,
last.
I'm gonna
Just when
be.
I think I'm out.
They pull me back in. I'm gonna be Johann. One last Jobson.
Johann Jobson.
Johann Jobson.
Da.
I'm the son of Danish immigrants. My parents died. I'm gonna make orphan my facet too because I don't really care about them. They've been dead so long, I don't even know anymore. I just like this idea of like this, just like this dude who's like he's. I almost want to play him like he keeps trying to die, and just can't. Like he
Yes.
puts himself into bad situations, hoping he gets killed,
Specifically,
and then just doesn't die.
it's like a modern day Viking.
Just
Or
yeah, it's exactly.
1930s day Viking.
I just want to get killed. Why can none of you Rockefellers shoot straight?
Wants to go to Valhalla and no one's letting him.
Let me
Yes.
see my ancestors.
Beautiful.
I'm making that my cause at 6.
Yes. Seeing ancestors.
Cause.
Hey, Cal, can you send me this Google link so I can scroll up and down through
Yes,
these
seeks
It's in the
feeds.
chats.
and
right.
Right.
chats?
The whole rule book is in the chats. Yeah.
Oh shit! Don't my
Seeks
bad.
an honorable death. I was gonna say I don't. Oh, that's right.
Is
But
it?
you guys are away from the house, right? Because I was gonna say I thought I gave you a copy of the physical rules.
Yeah, I don't have a. Don't got one.
That makes sense. Did
No,
you wait?
I
Did
don't see it in chat right now.
tell you what, I can share the rules with all of you. The power of technology is great, man. I don't know how or why
Yes, it is.
we didn't. Nate, would you like this as well?
Sure. I think. Oh wait, no, I already have a copy. Sorry. I don't know.
I'm
I
just gonna
said
set
sure.
you guys as viewer. Colin, do you need one?
No, I have one.
Randy, do you just want a link to this too?
I mean, I have the rules. I'm looking at them
We
right
might
now.
want to cut this part out of the recording so we don't get like doxxed.
Oh yeah. It's a
It
good call.
doxed me.
Please don't dox anybody, everyone.
Okay.
That'd be,
Alright,
that'd be kind of
don't do
cringe.
that.
We can
Be kind of cringe. Oh man, you know what? They are gonna stop now. Like I never want to do anything cringe. That's where I draw the line.
Hey,
wouldn't
look,
wouldn't
I
be
know-
very poggers of you to
I know if
dox
someone
someone.
said I was being cringe, I would
Yikes.
stop what I was doing immediately.
Very cringe
It's
of you.
before.
So we have Johann last job Jobson,
Oh, that's pretty good.
a man who is just named Hammerstav.
Beautiful. Beautiful man.
Oh,
Um,
I'm a prospector, but like I'm not any good at it, so I came to this country to prospect. Did you
Give
guys
the
know the gold
prospects.
rush really is over?
He just thinks it's still going on.
Well, I landed in New York a few weeks ago, and I saw Miss Rockefeller, and she's my ticket to gold. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
that's weirdly sweet. If you weren't a crazy stalker, man.
You don't know that yet.
I guess not. Maybe he could somehow seduce this
all right.
billionaire heiress to love an illiterate, slightly adult-
Illiterate.
I don't know. I just imagine being
Whoa.
illiterate.
I have 3 doctorates. All right, in my country.
I have my final 2 passes.
All right, excellent.
All right.
What is
So
your
for
so your 3 or your 1?
For my 3, it's all of my money.
What about your money?
Oh, that's sorry. I forgot. Loss.
Okay.
Loss of all of my money.
That makes sense.
And then 1 is irresistible urge, chain smoking.
The classics.
You gotta go.
What are you chain smoking? You like cigars? Are you chain smoking cigarettes?
Cigarettes. I'm not rich enough for cigars anymore.
Do you? Oh, that's really sad. You're just like, I don't like this. It's not as good as it used to be.
This is the poor man's cigar.
Oh man, you have like 3 of them bundled together. You're smoking all at the same time to
Just,
like
like,
try
tape
to
it
recreate the
together.
mouthfeel. It's just, oh, that's incredible. Would you have a name for your character, Nate?
Let me just look up 1930s name generator.
This just feels like Dust Bowl dance all over again, and I love it.
I think I have mine too, Kyle.
Excellent. All right, I'm ready. Do you have your character name or your facets, or how do you want to do it?
I think I have both. My
Okay.
character's name is Nikishiv, and then in parentheses, Rockefeller.
How do I spell Nikishiv? Because is that Russian?
It is Russian, yeah. Nikishiv.
Nikishiv.
Yeah.
And then Rockefeller in quotes.
Yeah. He is a homeless man who believes that he is a Rockefeller who has been disgruntled and is looking to get back at his family for cutting him out of the family fortune.
This is the most mentally unstable group of people.
He wears a full 3-piece suit at all times.
Where do you find it?
Where he gets them is unknown.
This is the best game already. Doesn't even matter.
All right.
I'm just
for my
gonna
things,
hold
I
up.
have,
Just gonna just scroll up unstable gang. There we go.
Yeah, that's about yeah. That's good.
essentially, yes.
That's just
I
Oh,
have
man.
Vengeance for the Rockefellers at a 6.
that makes sense.
I have an Irresistible Urge for booze at a 1. And an Irresistible Ooze an Irresistible Urge for heroin at a 1.
Oh. I believe
Just
they
a
called
mild addiction, guys.
Yeah,
Chill.
just a
It's
mild
1.
one.
I believe they called it opium in those days.
You mean cough medicine?
You mean soda?
Lean.
No wonder all the boomers think the old generations were better. They were drinking they were all just drinking lean in the streets and didn't know it.
Yikes.
That
All right,
explains
I'm-
so much about the jazz age too, by the way. I love that.
I got my character name.
All right, what is your character name, Nate?
Melvin last name.
Melvin last name?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's LASNAM.
LASN.
Aslam?
It's pronounced
Last-
Lasnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
It's-
I was gonna say.
It's
now. Last
French.
now.
Come on, guys. Be professional about this.
French.
Lasname?
That's not me.
All right. I also have my character.
Amazing. Isaac, do you want to go name first or facets first?
We'll go facets first and the name to be more dramatic.
I love
My 6, my profession to industry. This industry working as nauseum in the workforce, mostly the industrial workforce.
So you were an industrial worker.
Yep,
Like,
industrial.
and by the industrial worker, do you mean like you were an engineer, or do you mean you were one of the dudes swinging the sledgehammers?
I'm one of the dudes working on the railroads.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were like a grunt. I love that. That's
All
awesome.
the live long day, just out of curiosity. Nice.
Always, as one does, you know.
And in the kitchen with Dinah as well. I would like to
Yes,
point
of
out.
course. That's why I'm on the train. I was spotted by John Rockefeller himself and was like, "Man, you are the most professional, patriotic man I could ever imagine. You need to be on this important train." So here I am, Rocka. So then my number 5 is cause. My cause is to be the most patriotic in any room that I'm in.
Oh my God.
So
Well, I didn't give you guys my third facet yet, so this is gonna be fantastic.
Oh no.
and then my number 4 dice is I have an addiction to cake.
Just cake?
Just cake. I have to eat. If I see cake, it is something that I need. I like to eat my cake. I like to eat my cake too. All right.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah. And then my name is Mr. Phillips Block. You can call me Mr. Block for short. I have a block head.
Sir
Like
Phillips.
Minecraft.
Like Minecraft.
I have a literal block for a head. Yes.
I will make an NPC named Steve that you will have to interact with at some point.
Ooh.
It's okay. I love Steve.
For the children.
Of course.
All right. We're going back to Mr. Hamastav.
So, as everyone knows, you know, the First Great War has really left Estonia in shambles, you know, them darn Germans, if you will. And, you know, since the signing of our, you know, Declaration of Independence and stuff in the late 20s, and a new constitution, you know, in 1928, we have come a long way as a country. Until the National Front came, and in the early 1934, they took sole proprietorship of the government, and thus my family was essentially shafted. And so we are here seeking our fortune and fame, if you will, in the New York of the city.
I really hope you
I'm
just
a
call it the New York of the city all the time.
Yes, it is. So that is my traumatic past. I think that's what we're going to go with for that one.
Say ousted from homeland.
You got it.
I love it. All right.
So I am weary about any hyper political folk, if you will. And I had that up on my screen before he told me what he was.
Oh, this is the best. We're gonna be so good friends at the end of this.
It's gonna be a great train ride.
This is gonna be
it's
gonna be a great train ride for somebody. I don't know if it's gonna be a great train ride for us or the Rockefellers. I have a sneaking suspicion.
This is not gonna be a good. Yeah, it's not gonna be good for the Rockefellers.
The unstable gang is
Listen.
not gonna make it out of this. Okay.
Listen, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Rockefellers are amazing people. They did everything possible for everyone all the time. And it is great.
Yes, and JP Morgan got his oil tycoon very ethically, I swear.
Yeah, the American way.
I love everything. All right, and then Randy, do you know what your last 5 is going to be?
Oh, I needed 4 things. I thought I had
3 things. You have charge, Jillian Rockefeller. You have
Mhm,
6. You have traumatic past, ousted from homeland. Oh, and your 5 was
something about being a prospector. Profession, I guess.
Profession prospector.
Profession. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm seeking fortune. That's
Yep,
why I'm so
profession,
attracted to the Rockefeller. But, you know, they kind
prospector.
of tie together.
There we go. That works. Okay. And I think I'm the last one who needs to do anything for my my 5. I'm gonna be not traumatic past. I'm gonna say loss. The ability to shoot. So I'm gonna say that as a gunslinger, I was very, very well renowned for my eagle eye, my rapid reflexes, and my incredible accuracy and ability to shoot to kill. However, in the last gunfight of my career, I accidentally shot and killed like a 7-year-old girl who got caught in the crossfire.
And there we get dark. All right.
And so ever since then, I am just like, I am the scene from Blazing Saddles where it's like, man, you shoot with this, your hands as steady as a board. Yeah, but I shoot with this one. Like that is my character.
I love that movie.
That is my character to a T. So, and that's partially why he kind of wants to die as well. Well, that'll get tied in
Perfect.
a little bit too. Cool. Is everybody ready? Everyone feeling good?
I'm ready to game.
Can we
All
can we go through the names one more
Yep,
time?
I was just about to do that, Isaac. So I am Johan Last Job Jobson,
Do you spell Johan?
John,
John?
John.
John.
Oh, H-A-N.
A-N. Sorry, I said I forgot. I omitted the A.
I mean, is there an apostrophe before the N? How do you pronounce this?
Just Johan.
Johann Sebastian Bach, like that big
Johan Last
musician guy.
Job?
Johan
Yeah.
Last Job Jobson.
Last Job, the gunslinger.
You got it. Gunslinger. Gunslinger. It's in the past.
Gunslinger.
Gunslinger.
What is how many is there?
Handslanger.
We gotta make you just dip your head and just wander so that way you're able to shoot guns again.
Get better at shooting.
All right, so we have Johan.
Yeah,
who
and my
else do we have?
facets are: I seek an honorable death at 6. I have lost my ability to shoot at a 5.
But we don't
and-
know what your facets are, right?
Nope. But for the players here and for the viewers at home,
Okay.
if they're keeping track of our characters,
Which you
Uh,
should carry
yeah.
your weight.
and my traumatic past as an orphan at a 2. And then our next one is Colin Nikisjev Rockefeller, in quotes. He is number 6, vengeance towards the Rockefellers. He is that's his facet, vengeance towards the Rockefellers at a 6. Facet number 1, irresistible urge, booze. Facet number also his last facet is also at a 1, and that is the irresistible urge to consume heroin or opium if you are of a more timely period. If you're interested in our alternate history America. Nate is playing as Melvin Lasnam.
Yes. Again, it's French.
It's French. Cube croissant. Cube croissant forever.
The last names were actually the original inventors of the cube croissant, but then crooked Panera took it out right from under us.
It's always the damn Panera.
Can the Panera family be? I'm gonna put the Panera family on this train. Don't worry about it.
Perfect.
Well, they're in the
perfect.
first class,
Oh yeah.
not second class like the Rockefellers. Like
No,
they're
no,
in like the class.
Well, they're the upper crust.
Yeah,
Oh man.
hate this.
The Panera family are the ones who run the deep state, as it's
all-
well known.
It's boom and bust for the Panera family. Yeast and famine.
Hey, they're the ones that invited sliced bread, That's all you need.
Taking
Nothing's
see
beat it
yourself
since.
out.
Just ready to die, right?
Oh, you changed your
Oh, wow,
name.
so-
Oh,
so-
that's so smart.
After the third,
Everybody wait
third
a
red
second.
pun, suddenly something came up. I gotta
Buddy, wait a second. I'm done, Colin. I'm done. Melvin Lasnam has vengeance 6 towards David Rockefeller. Facet
Any
3,
Rockefeller would do though.
yeah. Loss of all of his money, and then facet number 1, irresistible urge, chain smoking. And then Isaac is going to play Mr. Phillips Block, profession industrial railroad worker. 5, he is the most patriotic person in every room that he's in, and his facet at a 4 is an addiction to cake.
Is he a large man?
Yeah, he's very large. His head is actually he's not. His head is a block, but his rest of his body is like a normal human body. He's got like a flannel on. He's got some like nice pants for the occasion, But
It's like
I
a-
was picturing a William Taft, but not any longer.
Oh,
that's good.
I love a William Taft. We need a William Taft in the party, really.
You got another player?
I do not. Oh, we do.
giving
I have
an
you.
NPC.
I'm gonna get to you. Don't worry. If you want to be your William Taft, you can. That was
Nope,
more of a don't.
Can't be
like.
it. I'm Estonian.
So then we have Randy playing Hamastov, he has a charge of 6 to protect Jillian Rockefeller. Unclear of whether or not that charge is reciprocated. Another facet, traumatic past at a 6. He's ousted from his homeland, and then a facet at a 5, a profession of prospector. So the last thing that we have to do for character creation to be well and truly done, now that we have established our theme, our world, our motivations, is we need a connection with another player at the table. So we cannot share a connection. Every one of us is going to have at least one connection. There's every player will have one connection attached to them. So for example, if I have a connection with Randy, nobody else can have a connection with Randy.
So
At the
everyone
table.
makes a circle. Got it.
Correct. Exactly. We want to make sure that at least so that some of the characters know one another. So this is where I'm going to totally open it up. If anybody is interested or has a character connection already in mind, it does seem like there are some that would make more sense than others, but to sort of bring this circle home, like for example, I think Nikisjev and maybe Melvin Lasnam probably could be connected just because of their shared desire for vengeance. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But I'll let you decide how you want to do that. I actually have one that I kind of think would be interesting. I would like to have a connection with Isaac, my character, if you're okay with
Okay.
that, Isaac.
Okay, what's the connection?
I'm
Shoot.
thinking that since you worked on the railroad, maybe you're the reason I was able to make it to New York at all.
Like that.
Like
A stowaway, if you will.
yeah, because like I kind of maybe like I mean I was old when the last like I'm older now, but I was old when that last gunfight happened. Like that was supposed to be the last job.
Yeah.
Well,
Mr. Block respects his elders, so
wow.
we would do anything for an American outlaw like yourself protecting the Wild West.
So we're gonna say Philip Block.
You can call me Mr. Block for short.
I'm gonna call you Big Phil. And
It also works.
can you correct me every time, like in character, like it's
Of
Mr.
course.
Block.
It's Yes.
Whatever you say, Big Phil. I love it.
Love that.
So we're gonna say that Philip Block smuggled Johann on the rails to New York. So I feel like I owe him a debt. I think that's a solid connection
I like that.
because it would
The-
explain why I'm willing to go back on this train, other than my
Yeah.
total desire for death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone has another connection, the only one I could think of real off the top of my head was with for my character to be with Nikishiv. I can't say that right.
Nikki
You can
Stu?
just call me
Nikki
Nikki. You can just
Sheep.
call me Nikki.
Yo, what's up, Nikki? Damn, you fine. All right, Nikki. So here is the thing I think. So I'm a big American man, as Mr. Block loves to say. And so you being a Rockefeller, I have all my support. And so I'll follow you into anywhere. Because I'm an American man, you're the you made America. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So I'm here to follow you with whatever you want to do.
Is your character very dull?
I'm a block.
Like very dumb?
A block.
Okay, because I have like a Russian accent. So I don't know.
Whatever you say, Rockefeller.
Yes, I'm Rockefeller. So thank you.
Oh,
that was
we're
more
like
Japanese.
Rockefeller. You're the second one I've met today. I didn't know what kind of is that a Midwestern accent I hear?
Honestly, it's not too far.
There we go. So that's
Oh my
okay with
God.
you. If I don't want
Yeah.
to steal your thing.
That's better than anything I
that's-
could have ever come up with.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Worships.
I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, or we'll say I said is enamored, but worships is probably better.
Yeah. It worships is Rockefellers in general, and since Nika ship is Rockefeller, I'm gonna follow you around a little bit.
Which is so funny because we're gonna kidnap a Rockefeller.
What?
Don't worry about it. Nikki will explain the plot.
It'll be fine. Everything will be all right.
Yeah. Everything will be good.
All right, I love it. That's a great connection. All right. So Colin, Nate, so the people that are left, so a connection with Philip Block has happened. A connection with Nikki has happened. So someone needs a connection with me.
Well, you're from the West, so I think my character would be drawn to you in some form or fashion,
Okay.
whether it's a newly founded connection or not. Because, being in the West, you would obviously have experience with dealing with prospecting, even if that was not your pastime.
Oh, yeah, that could work.
So, like, you would have a history of, even if they're just tall tales, per se, you could be stringing my character along for all I know. We could just be sitting on the train next to us, and like you're just like, oh yeah, then there's a mountain of gold out there,
Can we like make it like a really disgruntled mentor and mentee relationship where like I'm trying to be really honest with you about the fact that the gold rush is over and you just won't hear it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you like be the Don Quixote to my Sancho Panza? Because like that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
I'm fine with that.
That's yeah, it sounds great. Welcome, unstable gang, disillusionment team.
America, let's go.
Finally figured out how to rename my character or rename myself in Zoom here. I just had to Google that.
Hamastov the unfortunate. Oh my lord.
So then could I,
Yeah.
Hamastov, could I have a bond with you that's just like we're both working together to track down our respective Rockefeller and increasingly like illegal ways.
Oh, are you looking for Jillian? Because I'm looking for Jillian.
I'm looking for maybe not Jillian, someone
But
related
you
to it.
know,
Looking for a Rockefeller, just from one fan to another.
I could be down with that.
I think that's great. And then that gets a connection to, so we have a connection for Nikki, we have a connection to Johan, connection to Nikki, connection to Philip Block, connection to Johan, which means that Colin, you need to make a connection with Nate.
Melvin.
Melvin.
Glasnam.
Sorry.
How do you want to do it, Melvin?
You won vengeance against Rockefellers. I won vengeance around Rockefellers. Maybe we plotted on getting back at them together.
I'm down. Do I know about your goings on with Hamastad?
Is Hamastad secretive about the fact that he's
Well, you see,
protecting
being Eastern
Jillian?
European, there's one thing we don't do, and it's secrecy.
I can tell you with 100% certainty, he does not shut the hell up about Jillian. I mean, it is all the time, every time. Like, I once saw a rabbit in heat that was less persistent than Hamastav is. I keep trying to tell him that she's not that tall in real life. It's a billboard. She's not that big. The train is not that big because it's carrying a big woman.
The ultimate moment of disappointment when we got. It's like, wait a minute, you're not 20 feet tall. Hold on.
I was promised legs for days.
I only have legs for hours.
Each
Jillian
car
just
is a
kind of-
leg.
Jillian's like, I've had these legs for years. What are you talking about? All right. So, Colin, you have a connection with Melvin. All right. You have united in vengeance. Vengeance in all caps. All right. Perfect. And with that, the stage is set. The dramatis personae are on stage. I love it. So the way that this is going to work, Randy, is that this game plays out in 3 acts. Within that act are a number of scenes that you can have any number of players in as possible. So the reason I had you roll 4 dice is that traditionally in a game of this, your character sheet would actually have the dice sitting in front of you next to each facet.
Okay, makes sense.
The reason that is a thing is because in After the Rain, we are going to be exposed to the rain with a capital T and a capital R, which is this force that as we are exposed to it will slowly not only
Degrade ourselves, right?
Well, it wipes our memories away.
Yeah.
It wipes our experiences away. And with them, any impact that they may have had on our character, which is kind of the hardest thing to roleplay, but you'll get the hang of it pretty quick. I think that's fair to say, right? Isaac and Nate, you guys got the hang of it pretty quick.
Yeah.
So like, for example, if you got sober because of a job that you had, but then you lose the experience of having that job, then you probably would lose your sobriety too. Obviously nobody has made that happen for these particular characters, but it is going to be one of those things that's going to happen. So just to keep in mind, every time that you are in a scene, you are going to lose at least one facet. And then depending on what you do or how you role play it in that scene, you could lose more of a facet. So the reason we have a 4th dice too is if you want to do something out of the ordinary, right? So let's say for whatever reason, Hamastav is like, I'm going to make like a ye old bootleg jetpack by strapping 2 bottles of fully shaken up champagne on either side of a backpack and then hitting them both at the same time to lob me forward. You could try that, right? You pick a facet to use as a bonus. So like, for example, if you put your charge to Jillian Rockefeller as the facet you'd like to use, you would then roll the 4th dice that is not set to a facet. So like if I roll a 5, I would have you'd add your 6 to it, you'd get an 11. And then
Which is unmitigated successes, right?
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Now I might tweak that table as the game master, just to sort of like to reflect the difficulty of a situation or anything like that. But in any case, that's the general rule of thumb.
It's a DC essentially. Yep.
Yeah, it's essentially a DC. But that's act one. So every one of us is going to pick a scene on this train to have. You can pick any number of characters to go with you on the scene. So that can be really useful for like kind of furthering your goals or getting to know or getting to really get familiar with another character if you want to further that bond with that particular character. That's act one. In act two, a complication arises. This could be something like, I don't know, the castle that you're trying to break into that was full of what you thought were dead people, actually being full of a bunch of knights driven mad by plague, who then throw the gates open and try to ransack the town. It could be that your plan to, break in and kill a famous bootlegger, you make so much noise that you manage to wake up every single goon in his bootleg factory, and they all come out in a giant armored car and try to gun you down in the middle of a rainstorm. So the complication is going to immediately complicate our goal, which again, to put in perspective for everybody, we are going to try to get the object, the person. So it will complicate that. That act takes place very quickly because it is a montage. At max, you are going to get 3, maybe 4 sentences to describe what your character does in montage form. You pick a facet. That you talk about how you are exposed to the rain as a result of the actions your character take. And then your facet will drop by 2. So you just, as long as you're not doing anything like super ridiculous, like as long as you're not like, I summoned Godzilla from the, the cold depths of the beyond to come onto this train.
Bucket. Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
You're going to succeed automatically on what you do in that montage. Then in the third act, we have one more scene apiece where we hopefully achieve our goal. I will tell you, sometimes you achieve the goal and your characters are like, oh God, why did I even want to do this in the first place? This goal is not what I want, and it's not a reflection of who I am anymore. And they might just abandon it and say, screw it. You might achieve the goal only to realize that you're not really gonna be able to make it out. Or your character might die. It's up to you too. If you'd like your character to die, it's a storytelling vehicle where if you're like, nope, my character probably should die in act 3, go for it. And then following act 3, there is one final montage where you just describe what happens to your character after the rain. Hence the title, which is really cool. So before we get fully started, however, who is the person that we're trying to kidnap? Have we established that it's Jillian?
I wanted to ask that exact question.
Yep.
I'm in it to kill a Rockefeller.
Right. So it can't be David.
I'm using this as an excuse to get on that train.
I think it should be Jillian. I think at this point, I feel like all phasers point to Jillian.
In one facet or another, yes. I think Jillian will be the target, whether it's save, kill, what is it?
I was going to say, Mr. Blanc received a letter in the mail. No note from who it's from, just that it was like stamped, good seal on it, so it was very, very official. It came from a Rockefeller themselves. All it said was from a Rockefeller. I don't know which one who it came from.
Is it Nikki?
Yeah, this is the first Rockefeller that I've talked to, and so I got on board with Nikki, so it happened. I had to smuggle help my good old Western friend going on board, but I am following Rockefeller to go kidnap a Rockefeller. I just don't know which one.
Amazing. So you're unsure of which Rockefeller. I'm along for the ride. I like that a lot. Are we going to say that Melvin and Nikki kind of are fully aware of what the plan is, and Hamastav is there because he heard that he could get Jillian?
I might get an opportunity,
Yeah, the beloved.
I would say that Melvin is aware that I am with him on his plan, but Nikki's plan is to go in there and just bust everybody up.
I love it. My plan is there to die.
Yeah, we all got different agendas.
I think everyone thinks everyone has the same agenda, but they're not.
Yes. We have a coherent plan that we think everyone has agreed upon, and nobody is agreed upon.
Everyone needs to know that they have to get the Rockefeller in one form or another.
Oh man, this is
that's the title of this episode. Get that
different motive.
Get the Rockefeller. That's the title.
Yeah.
I was wrong before. This isn't Die Hard in a train. This is Reservoir Dogs in 1930s on a train. This is Reservoir Dogs. Oh God, we're all gonna die. I love it. So in traditional fashion, usually the youngest player will go first. That would be Nate.
Yes.
Unless you are not comfortable doing the first scene, in which case I can put it up to whoever else would like to take it. But
Where are we starting off?
so allow me to set the scene. I'm so glad you asked. The year is 1930, and not even the end of the Great War and the roaring 20s that preceded this time period could have dampened the massive financial blow of what will later be called the Great Depression. What was a towering empire of glittering gold and scintillating jazz and illegal booze has now become a decrepit wasteland for the poor and the destitute of America. We find ourselves following 5 of perhaps the most desperate and destitute individuals in the entirety of that great country, as they have managed to find their way onto a luxury train being run by one of the few families the Great Depression has not managed to get in its ravaging clutches, the Rockefellers. We find ourselves, those 5 desperate men have managed to get invited, but we'll say are all dressed as coat check boys. And I use the term boys loosely because the majority of us are haggard middle-aged men in this game, and are in the process of, so you got, we'll say we've all fully donned our coat check attire. We're all fully disguised on this train, and that's going to be where we open our scene. And as a special thing, I think this is not in the After the Rain rules, but I think it'd be kind of cool because I love the Reservoir Dogs aesthetic. I'm going to say that every one of us gets to bring a weapon or an item of our choice that is smuggled onto the train with us at the start of the game. I'm not going to write it down on our character sheets. You can just tell me what it is now. Mine is my Colt Peacemaker, my old pistol with exactly 2 bullets. One in case I absolutely need it, and the other for myself if I absolutely need it. That's my object.
All right. I got with me a very fancy, pretty expensive looking revolver, which I have it for the same reason as Charles J. Guiteau, which is because it's gonna look in a museum look good in a museum after I use it to kill a Rockefeller. So I've just got a very ornate pistol or a very ornate revolver with me.
I love it.
That's perfect.
Isaac, what is Mr. Philip Block carrying with him today?
He has to be carrying, like, you know how like an actual railroad looks, like that big old fucking iron, the eye.
Yeah,
Just one of those.
like a spike.
Whittled it in.
No, a spike, like the actual railroad, like
The
part of the
rail?
railroad.
Can you have like a guitar case and it's just a railroad tie in a guitar case?
Yep, perfect.
You're telling me you have
That's
a
exactly how I smuggled it
65
in. I love
pound,
it.
12-inch section of railroad tie in your suitcase?
What do you say?
Mr. Block.
He's like, hey, anyone want to hear Wonderwall? And then he just used the guitar case as a bludgeoning weapon.
I just tap on it.
Listen, man,
Let's
game
tap it out.
recognized game, and this man's got game for days.
Yep. I've got a children's baseball bat.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, like just a childhood baseball bat?
Yeah, it's like for kids. It's like a kid-sized baseball
Oh.
bat.
Is it one of those like really, really mini bats, like the little like tiny ones, or is it like an actual like kid bat?
No, it's just like for someone that would play like t-ball or
Oh,
whatever.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're picturing one of them novelty 16-inch long little like
Yes,
inch
that's
round
exactly what I'm
things.
picturing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
not
like
not that
the
small.
super small one. I'm like, please, just
No.
knock someone out with it.
That would be incredible.
Little Billy
Stab
Club.
somebody in the eye with the
Dude,
bullet.
you can just hit it, it breaks apart instantly, and they're just like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on? Stab. Perfect.
It's gonna be astounding. This game is gonna be the most
So-
violent
So
train wreck, and I love it.
Kamashov, the unfortunate, if you will, is clinging to his, well, he doesn't have fortune any longer and he hopes to gain it again. But one thing he was able to bring with him was his walking cane. Unassuming looking, however, with a nice little band that may release into something a little more dangerous.
I love it. All right, and so we find ourselves in the coat check train car, and that's going to be where we begin our first scene. So Rainey, After the Rain plays pretty fast and loose with location, So if you tell me, hey man, I think the train should have a spa car or something along the lines, and as the game master, I say, yeah, absolutely, why not? It would. That is totally okay. A couple things to let you know that it does have. It has a first class dining car, where of course you can get your full course service and cocktails. But
Croissants.
and your cube croissants. There is also obviously the engine room itself. Gotta have the engine room too. Love me some engine room. There is a area where a few very well paid and very well armed Pinkertons reside. They are there to guard the Rockefellers, obviously, because the Pinkertons are scum. And there's about 7 of them. And we're going to say there is also a sleeping car, a car that has these like sort of doubles as an office building. And then there's actually the section of the train closest to the engineer is the Rockefeller's private section. That no one is allowed to go back there. There's 2 cars there that they kind of live and sleep in. And then a third car that people can go to. It's the third furthest away from where the conductor is. And that's like a ballroom, basically. This is Snowpiercer meets Reservoir Dogs in the Great Depression. I'm
Just to
very
confirm,
excited.
you're telling me the Rockefeller's
That's pretty
private
dope.
car is the last car in the train.
It is the car closest to where the conductor is, the front of the engine.
I have
Is
a
it the
question.
conductor in the back and the engineer in the front?
Sorry, engineer, closer to the
Okay.
engineer.
Gotcha.
Yes, Isaac.
Yeah, are you typing this out on your thing right now?
I am not, but I can if
I
you would all
gotcha.
like me to.
No, I think it'd be really cool to have if you're sharing the screen to have that all that stuff up for
For the people at home.
the people.
For the
All right.
people.
Mr. Blanc is nothing but a voice for the American people at home.
He is, man. I give it back to you, the people.
Oh yes, I was wondering what would break first.
Oh, that's super good.
Your national spirit or the stock market?
They're both.
Oh,
Both always go up.
All right,
Always.
so train car 1 is going to be where the engineer is at.
Kyle, I'm not sure if your screen's up to date, or something, but it's not like shown for us.
Well,
for me
you
at
know,
least.
well,
hello.
I'm gonna have PTSD flashbacks to me teaching remote all year.
All right, yeah, there we go.
Can you just draw a train?
Can I draw a train?
Making you
No.
one right now, actually.
Bring
Bring
I'll
up
send it
MS
to you.
Paint, please.
Amazing. I love it.
Do I have MS Paint on here?
You better.
Dog, I don't think I have MS Paint on here.
No, you have to have like
That's
something
okay.
paint
I'm
Like
sure.
Photoshop?
or like
Yes.
Paint 3D, Paint app. Like yeah, something.
So I factory reset this bad boy years ago, and I don't know if you know this or not. I am a public school teacher. I am not buying a new laptop for quite some time.
There you go.
Actually, that's not true. I probably could buy a new laptop if I wanted to. I just really like this one.
There you go.
All right, we'll do train car 5. Is
So
the Pinkertons. 6, 7. And then I forget my thing is fine dining. I will say fine living. And then if I need to define any more of these as time goes on, I can.
Cool.
all right.
And train 2 is the one we can't enter, right? And then train 3 is the one with
No, train 4
Guards.
you can enter. Train
no, but
4
train
is the
2
bar.
we can't.
Train
2 and
3, train car 3 and train car 2 are off limits
got it.
for now.
For the moment.
For the moment.
Yes.
All right.
So here's my thought process right now for a possible like plan.
Okay.
So what's one thing that everybody knows the Pinkertons love? That's right, fine dining. And what's something that's really easy to give someone food poisoning with? That's right, poorly made fine dining. So what I'm saying, we sneak in there, beat up the chefs, wear their outfits, become the chefs, and then give them food poisoning. And then just like wait like 12 hours.
Can we just say this is the beginning of your first scene and you're like selling us all on the plan?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just
All
like
right,
in
so-
the coach, like, all right, so here's what's going on. All right.
At this point, we are all in character. Go for it, last nom.
All right, look. We sneak in, do some punching, do some kicking. No shooting yet. Beat them up, hide them in a closet, something, take their clothes, wear it, poison the Pinkertons, try and get through to the Rockefellers.
Well, I don't want to do any shooting.
Then no shooting. Yet.
Diplomacy is best course.
Who?
I
Diplomacy.
have to agree with the Rockefeller. That man has saved this country, and I will make sure that man is able to speak for this country. But I do like going to this area where there is fine dining. I would love to try their finest cake. I imagine it will have some secrets in there, just like America has in my heart.
Do we know how long train ride is?
According to the itinerary, we're supposed to be on this thing for the next 2 weeks. But if we want to make sure we get the Rockefeller and get to an area where the feds can't catch us, we really only have about 2 days.
2 days.
Okay, so 12 hours for food poison. Worth? No?
We could. I'm sure we can just barge our way through to the Rockefellers. Kidnap a
Why not
Rockefeller
just
and
ask?
pop off.
Can't we just not go up?
Hammerstaff, I don't know how to tell you this, but Rockefellers are big, important people. I don't
Well, I've
necessarily.
seen the sign. I know.
Well, I might be able to do a American accent, and I am a Rockefeller after all.
Miss
So
Rockefeller,
you're
I don't
saying
know.
you just go up there and you can get her.
Yes.
So we know food poisoning. We just go. They let
Well-
us in. You have the card, ID card, right?
Can I raise an interesting point here? We are all dressed like coat check boys, and I'm sorry, but as convincing and slightly terrifying as that accent was, I'm not entirely positive anyone is going to say that the random coat check boy is a Rockefeller. So if we are going to try 2 different plans, probably should get this Rockefeller, to look, like a Rockefeller.
Hey, you got my joke. Beautiful.
Don't know why you think this Rockefeller man over here is nothing more than a Russian guy. This man here is pure dynasty. And what we need to do, I think making him look the way he is on the inside, just like a cake is with icing, is exactly what we need to do. And so I think us finding going to the fine dining, which is next to the fine living, and maybe stake out some clothes and some cake, I think will be amazing thing for us to do.
I mean, we could always divide and conquer as well. Some of us could go and make sure that our Russian Rockefeller, looks the part, and part of the other part of the team could make sure that we go ahead and get into the fine dining.
I love it.
I'm going to leave
I
that
like
up to
this.
Las Nam, though.
I think splitting up would definitely be good. We could try the whole, punching and kicking, and maybe that later. But maybe we start off with trying to talk our way into the ballroom, to the Pinkertons,
I'm all right with that.
and then
How do we
we
split?
we have the food poisoning on back burner. So obviously we have the Rockefeller go to diplomacy, do some, I don't know, cleaning up montage.
I'm
gonna need
walking
a-
on sunshine.
I'm gonna shake my head 4 times so you come out with the F. It's good. Every good Rockefeller needs a bodyguard, so you with the square head.
It is not a square, it is a 3D shape. You French don't understand shape very well. But
Well,
let me tell you, in
His mother
America,
dropped him probably when his head was the softies.
On
yeah,
all
you
4
know?
sides.
What? This isn't
like
4.
kneading the
It's
dough.
a 3D shape.
I
What
mean,
do you not get?
say what you want for Mrs. Block, but at least she was thorough.
Oh, dude, she had a terrible time. But love is just like a cake. Everything that matters on the inside. Okay? And I can tell you my insides, perfectly shaped. But my love is cannot be contained. So I would love to accompany Rockefeller as a bodyguard to. Are we saying fine living?
Fine dining?
I think
Or
we're trying
fine
to get
dining
through
to
fine
fine
dining,
living?
or I think we're trying to get through the Pinkertons into the ballroom so we could possibly move on to the Rockefellers.
Oh yes. So we need a Laznam, are you going to food poison the Pinkertons in the fine dining?
I'm going to food poison the Pinkertons if we cannot get through with our words.
And do we know that Pinkertons eat in fine dining room?
I can tell you one thing about being a former gunslinger. The Pinkertons are basically pigs in fancy coats with expensive guns. If we bring them food, they will eat it.
Then probably best we stay in costume and just feed them.
Well, I mean, like I said, maybe we could split up. I mean, right? We're all in this to get the Rockefeller, yeah. That Jillian girl, right? We just gotta grab her and go.
He's common thread.
Coming. I have a letter that says to do the thing.
Thing?
Make you a
Yes,
train,
the
then
Rockefeller.
Pretty sure Hamistav wanted to do the Rockefeller.
chat.
Man.
This is good.
You see Hammerstav give the elbow, nudge, nudge. Little
At this
wink.
point, guys, it should be.
I love this train.
At this point, guys, a new fancy intercom system that was only installed, the first of its kind, installed on this train comes out. At which point, everyone the voice says, "And now you can enjoy the latest in glorious relaxation. Please direct your faces to the spritzers as we are pumping in some of the beautiful new Midwestern rainwater." At which point the room kind of fills with mist.
It's like a bidet for face.
Is this lavender?
Why does it tingle?
Filthy
I don't like
rich,
that.
rich in their systems.
It just gets real up in there.
Yeah. It burns the nostrils. Isn't that weird? Like, isn't this
Kind of
refreshing?
It's cleaning out like the gases, you know?
I lost my sense of smell a long time ago, but I can just feel it.
Rich
Very
people
wet
enjoy
and
this.
damp.
This is classic Rockefeller.
Oh, is it, sir? Is it classic Rockefeller? How
It's
could
like-
you describe it in detail for me, please?
Yeah, did you like get a like teardrops of this like before you go to bed?
We do a little of this, little of that.
I am so enamored by what is going on that I'm able to experience this with you, sir.
All right. So how does the facet loss actually occur?
All right,
Is it
so-
A beautiful moment.
So Nate, well, it depends. Nate, are you finished with your scene?
Yeah, I think
As it
that
were.
plotting I think that plotting would be a good scene.
Excellent. So at this point, this is how we're gonna get the rain into this train. That falls mainly on the plane in
Perfect.
Spain. RIP to our old character vein. When we are exposed to rainwater in this instance, because Nate chose to have his scene with all of us, we all get to choose a facet that would drop down by 1. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and drop my traumatic past orphan down to a 1 because I don't really care too much about that anyway. And I kind of want to explore my other facets as time goes on in our scenes. So it is up to you guys, however, how you would like to drop yours. Colin, what do you drop? What is Nikki dropping his scene in?
His vengeance for the Rockefellers.
His vengeance. Interesting. Down to a 5. What is Melvin Lasnam dropping down?
I think I'm realizing that there might be something behind this mist because I've just completely lost my urge to smoke. It's just gone.
Crazy. Isaac, what is just gone? Isaac,
Yeah.
what are you dropping?
Mr. Block just completely forgets his time at the steel mill. So I going down to a 5. He's worked on a lot of different industrial locations, but that one is just
Amazing. And then Randolph, what is happening to Hamastav the Unfortunate?
I think profession.
Down to a prospecting.
Yeah. You know, the more I hear you tell me stories, the less I'm sure I want to do it. And is that really what I wanted to do in the first place? Or are you just trying to feed me a tall tale?
Oh, I like that. One more thing for you guys to take note, and I know Randy, I didn't mention this at the beginning. You guys who have played this before are familiar with this, but Randy, you can choose to automatically succeed on a facet roll. So like, let's say there's something you absolutely want your character to do more than anything. somebody's headphones are off because I can hear myself echoing. Um, but so you can choose to automatically succeed on a facet roll by if you have something that is over a if it's a 4 or above, you drop it to a 1. If it is lower than a 4, it automatically drops to a 0 for you to automatically succeed on a check. So if there's something
like
you are
pushing a success in some other
Yes.
games. Yep.
correct. Yep. Amazing. All right. Right. And then we would usually go around the table clockwise. So that would make it Randy as our next scene. But Randy, if you would like somebody else to do that as well, just for you
I would
kinda
actually like to go last on this scene since I
Okay.
didn't really pick a direction my character was going in Act 1. I wanted to
Okay.
kind of play it out last.
Cool. Would anybody be opposed to me playing the second scene?
Do it.
All right.
Live it, love it, learn it.
I was
Uh,
gonna say, if you said me, I said Mr. Block defers his turn to the Rockefeller.
That's my boy.
I love how thematic it is. Can I have my scene with Hamastav and with let's just do so I think like Johan really wants us to split up. I think character wise, I think that's kind of like where he's at. He thinks like a 2-pronged approach might be better. So I'd like to explore the option of trying to get either Nikki to get dressed like a Rockefeller or to help Nate with the food poisoning. So do some of you feel strongly about like trying to do one or the other before I ask you to be a part of my scene? I don't want to like.
I'm definitely in for the. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, Nate.
Oh, I'm in for the poison.
So can I bring you and Randy? Can I bring Hamastav to go help food poison?
You can. Hammerstov is kind of in the midst of going, which way do I want to go?
Right. Because I think that'll be cool. Because then Colin, you and Isaac could maybe do your Rockefeller thing.
It'd be great.
We're gonna kill it.
I'm
Yeah.
It's
so
gonna easy success.
Yeah, easy. I'll bring the
Easy.
cake.
easy. Poggers.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest phrase.
Am I right, fellow youth? Yes,
I love
Poggers,
it.
epic.
I love
This
it.
is be a Poggers play, not a Poggers you play. All right, just get it straight. It'll be fine.
No,
No
simp
5
energy.
heads here, only 3 heads. Come on.
Sigma male grind set only. This is a true train full of Sigma males.
Rockefellers, nothing but.
Rockefellers, baby.
Gun derailed.
Oh, yikes.
All right. So I'm gonna say so. Listen, Lasnam, I'm really feeling that you've got this plan down for this food poisoning. I'd like you to accompany me to the train car with the food. Yeah,
Yes.
excellent.
That sounds good.
Hamastav, my friend. You know what women love other than a hard-working man and a lot of money and a nice car?
Nope.
Pastries. Really nice looking pastries. So
Like
I'm
those
thinking,
French people make.
yeah, or Italian. The Italians make some excellent pastries as well. I'm thinking, why don't you come with us? The 3 of us, we can maybe make this plan work, and with Melvin, and we can maybe poison some food. Maybe we can get you some nice cupcakes or a crudité
Wait,
or a macaroni.
I'll
We're
like
that
cake
fancy
as
looking-
much as Mr. Block here, but
But
Uh,
Jillian might.
all right. Bet Jillian likes cake.
I bet you.
I'll get her a cake.
She's a Rockefeller, right? She's the
gotta
most
love cake.
American person I could think of, and they love cake. And I mean, like, if you're getting some cake, like even cupcakes, the
Just be
cakes
clear,
the size
Mr.
of a
Block
cup.
is going in that direction, correct?
I know.
Yeah,
I just
no.
want you should just bring me cake. Though. That's my point. Is you should bring me cake. All right. Like I
We're-
can give you something in return for the cake. That's all.
Tell you
that's all
what,
I
buddy.
can
We'll
say.
we'll put it on the itinerary.
Not the
dinner.
top of the list, but like at least 4th on the list.
We're gonna put on that fancy to-do list that people are talking about all the time. All right, let's go. So the 3 of us sort of travel into. I'm gonna scroll back up into the fine dining car, where it is a sort of a constant hustle and bustle of chefs, buzzing around this large table. You can see confectioners who are just squirting frosting into perfect little stars on top of these little cakes. They've got different cooks experimenting with what looks like, or what will later on in history be called hot pots or like hot plates. but they're sort of cooking. It's very cutting edge technology at this time. Essentially building a feast. And we, in our very bright maroon coat check boy uniforms, stand out like an absolute just sore thumbs. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make a facet roll. I'm going to use my my obsession with dying. And I'm going to go see if I can rustle us up some chef uniforms. Melvin and Hamastav, what are you guys going to do while I am going to try and get us some chef uniforms? That's
Are
bad.
you like going just to like a closet nearby, or are you like trying to like get through the car into like a storage container?
I'm scavenging. I'm going to try my best to look like I'm doing something that not out of the ordinary while I'm looking. And I rolled very poorly, so it's kind of a success, but I'm dropping that facet way more than I would have liked. So that's what I am doing.
I would think Hammerstav is still, because he was, I don't want to say royalty in previous, home country, but like, he was in the political scene. So he's kind of used to kind of like getting his way.
Oh, okay.
And he's just not in tune with the poor man life yet, as you will. So I think he's just going to kind of go and help himself to some of the car, see what's going on.
So Hamastav, as you kind of go reach down to like kind of lift up some of the pastries, this very very short Italian woman with like very hard, her like very deep brown eyes to the point where they're almost black. She's a very serious expression, short ponytail pulled up. She slaps your hand away. What are you doing? Why are you touching those?
Well, it's cake.
Yes, I know it is cake. I know it is cake. I am working on it. I am
That
working
was
on it
very
for the
rude, young
Rockefellers.
lady. Well,
She kind of what did you say?
ma'am, you're being very rude right now, and I'm going to need you to calm down.
Calm down. You would like me to calm down. You walk into my train, you try to take my pastries, and you tell me to calm down.
You know what, ma'am? You're absolutely right. I am sorry. Can we help you by maybe serving the trays for you?
You wish to help me?
We can help. I have friends. They can help too. Friends, help the nice lady.
I am at
We
this
have
point
offended.
tripping over like a bucket or something. I rolled a 1. It's like I'm doing so poor. I go face
Get
first.
out from back there. She know like that.
She has a name.
Is this where we look askingly at the fine elderly Italian lady?
She's not elderly. She looks like she's
Oh.
probably like in her mid-20s.
Oh, but she's
Also,
large.
Judging very small. She's like
Oh.
probably about 4 feet tall almost.
Mm.
She looks like she needs a footstool to reach anything.
I was
she
picturing
does-
a rotund Italian old lady, but
No,
okay.
she does have a meat cleaver strapped on either side of her apron, which is very intriguing.
For
seeing as
pastries?
you have that was what I was about to say. Very intriguing, given that she has not done anything but look at cupcakes. Everyone in this train is exceptionally rude. I will take some help. Thank you. You, bumbling man, tripping over things in the background. What are you doing? I am just looking for a good way to help, ma'am.
We're trying to start our shift. We didn't know where to go. We just standing around. We're
Can
scheduled for now.
you make a facet roll to try and lie to her?
Yes. I'm going to try to use my my desperate want for money as a as anything to try and like get a job of any sort. So I would like to use my loss of money.
Okay.
6
Total, or did 6 on the dice?
total.
I'm gonna say it's barely enough just because Randy did some good schmoozing. Barely.
Oh man, I gave you advantage. You're welcome.
Thank you. You're hard carrying.
Of course the Rockefellers would double book people. They're cheapskates. Fine, get them some uniforms. Put them in the uniforms and get them going. Thank you. Just kind of like, as I stumble back over to Hamastav, I'm just really like, how the hell did you do that?
I don't know. Was I supposed to roll for that?
No, I'm okay with it. Honestly, in
Okay.
terms of storytelling, probably offering the overworked woman help is probably the best thing you could have done there.
Oh,
So
and do
I'm
I-
cool. He like kind of elbows you a little bit. He's like, that's the first time I have ever seen you talk to a woman, like an actual woman, and not like a hand drawn hobo looking picture of Jillian Rockefeller.
Well, you see, the Southern Europeans are a special class. You don't piss them off when they have meat cleavers.
I feel like I may have misjudged you. I really do. She's like, ahem, I'm waiting. You in the farms. All right. That's going to be where I end my scene. I think I'm okay with that. Because that puts us in chef uniform.
That's bad.
Oh God. I'm going to drop down my cause of seeking an honorable death to 4 because I just tripped and fell. Nate, what facet did you use? You used loss of all your money?
Yeah, so
Alright.
so it'll go down to a 2, right?
It goes down to a 2.
And then do I need to reduce another thing by 1?
I am okay with just that one.
Okay.
Randy, you were not involved in the rain at all, which is kind of exciting. However, Randy, you do notice, because you are the closest one to our Italian friend, that it's clear that the water they're using to make the baked goods, I think, is Isaac back in?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm back. I made it
the
back.
the water that they are using to make the baked goods is clearly coming from the sprinkler,
diffusers?
the mist.
Yeah.
Yes, which is going to be very, very interesting. All right. Who would like to go next? So we have had Nate has set his scene. So either Isaac or Nikki.
Nikki can go first because I'm going to go with Nikki to do whatever Nikki wants to do at this point. Since the letter that I have is saying a Rockefeller, Nikki's the first Rockefeller I met, so I'm just assuming it's him.
Yeah, Nikki, I think Nikki wants to do the diplomacy thing, but he needs another spritz to feel more like a Rockefeller again.
Okay.
Take
So is he?
a shower in the rain.
Yeah, is there like a button to press to get the more water to come out?
So there's not a button, but you can see clearly running along the sides of the train car are like the tubes. Like if you've ever been to like an aquarium where like they have the really small or like water tubes that like run alongside the walls and you can like watch the little fish go by. They've got those essentially. So it is clear what is in there if you want to like just poke a hole and start guzzling from it.
Yeah, he's gonna poke a hole. He's not gonna guzzle from it, but he's gonna like splash his face and like slick his hair back with it. Maybe he drinks a little bit, gets a little bit of spritz going.
Yeah, there you go.
Mr. Rockefeller, I have a question for you. Would you want me to smash it open using my train rail?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's all right.
Too big?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go talk to the Pinkertons. Yes.
Pinkertons, yes. The most American people. Protecting the most American people.
Yes. Right.
So
Perfect.
in order to get to the Pinkertons, you have to pass through Fine Living. I don't know. Was the plan to get him? Was the plan to get you clothing, or are you like after the spritz? You're just totally going to the Pinkertons.
He's just going to the Pinkertons.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Sopping wet.
All right, so Colin, Nikki sort of strides through Fine Living. You not sprint, but you stride through fine dining long enough to see your 3 compatriots being not yelled at, but like gently berated by an Italian woman as they hastily try to pull their chef uniforms on over over their bellhop uniforms.
Can I attempt to steal a piece of a cake of something? Doesn't have to be
Absolutely.
a fancy cake. Any cake on that I can
Make
grab
a
on the
roll
way.
for it. Make a roll
It'd
for
be a
it.
sin if you didn't.
It would. It would make my addiction not strong enough to be
It would
honest. The 4 is
absolute-
pretty strong.
Yeah. So what did you roll?
I am rolling a die right now.
Excellent. You roll that die.
Rolling a die. It's a 6. It's not a 6. I'm rolling a 6. I got a 6.
Wow.
Nice.
So not only do you manage to nab a cake, you manage to nab a full-on like it looks like a wedding cake,
My
which
man.
is very interesting to you. And I'm gonna say that all three of us that are still here, doing our like baked good thing, especially Hamastad, notices the wedding cake. So you grab a full-on wedding cake, and not only do you manage to grab it, Isaac, you manage to grab it, or Philip Block manages to grab it in such a way that not even the Italian woman yelling at us is well aware of the fact that you literally just ripped and run with this cake.
Nice.
You
Am
are
I
the
able?
you are the Omar of the Wire of this group,
Yes.
just running with this
Cool.
cake.
I love it. Am I okay? So I don't want to ruin the cake, but am I going to put my my railrod in the cake somehow or no? That'll probably destroy it. I'm gonna assume my Mr. Block is too stupid to do that, so it's fine.
It would definitely destroy it. I mean, if you had
Yeah.
some other like,
Oh, it's it's not industrial cake, so I can't use that.
that classic industrial cake.
My addiction to cake can give me some cake knowledge to be like, if I
When she
insert it
got
just
that
perfect.
industrial cake.
She
Yeah.
got that industrial.
Yes.
Oh,
Big yikes.
I love it. I love
Listen,
everything about
you know,
it.
you gotta lay,
Okay.
lay down that train rail.
Do we
That's all I'm
get
talking.
through fine dining to the Pinkertons?
You absolutely do. In no small part, because you're able to kind of like home improvement it like Wilson, and just kind of hide your faces behind the big wedding cake, and like no one's gonna stop someone with a wedding cake.
Yeah.
True.
No one. No one's
Mr.
gonna stop.
Rockefeller, would you want to help me carry this cake through fine dining so that way we're blending with the
You are
underclass?
like 6 steps ahead of him, by the way, at
Oh,
this point,
cool.
Nikki, because you got that Rockefeller stride going.
I got that. Shoulders back, chest out.
Oh yeah.
I
got
got
the
the
jet-
Well, I guess I don't have a 3-piece suit. I'm still wearing the belt. What is it? What's the uniform?
Your bellhop uniform.
Bellhop. Yeah.
You could take the bellhop uniform off as you walk.
All right. I'm gonna take it off and like
That's
just
such a
undo like the
dramatic-
top 2 buttons.
Wait, so are you
Just-
ripping just the top 2? You're ripping the whole, just like,
Each step is another button. As he
Just imagine
walks.
like he has a button. He takes like the vest off. Is it a vest?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. He takes
Yeah.
like the vest off, so it's just like a white collared shirt, and then he just unbuttons the top 2 buttons of it.
You have like a tuck shirt and these maroon pants.
Oh, did Mr. Black happen to get a napkin with his cake?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
I
take
got
his
plates,
napkin and
napkins,
put
like
it in
everything.
my put it in my shirt pocket. As
Like
a
a-
little
Like a pocket
Yeah.
square. Oh my
Yeah,
God, that's
perfect.
amazing.
yeah.
That is so freaking good. Oh my God, I love it.
All
You-
right, so I
you-
stride into the room. I'm
Just
like
leveraging this.
licking my fucking fingers and curling my little hair and scrimping and stuff. And I step in there.
As you do, these 2 Pinkertons, there's like 2 Pinkertons, like they've got like, one of them has like a Henry repeating rifle kind of like propped up against. The other one has 2 the Mauser repeating pistols, the broom handle ones, like in 2 different like not sheaths, in 2 different holsters strapped on either side of him. There are 3 shall we say impressionable young ladies all sipping gin with them, and it's clear because like the one guy has like a Bowie knife that he's been poking holes in the little like water thing and like filling the gin, like mixing the water with the gin, and they're all a giggle. Like everyone in that room is just like the Pinkertons like see you stride in, and the one guy like tries to get up, and he's really not all that great at it, but he's like, who are you? What do you want? It's the guy with the rifle who clearly has like the rifle is far behind him. This is a private party.
Yes, I'm well aware. Nicholas Rockefeller. I'm bringing a cake.
It's a very fancy cake. If you look at it, it's a very American-made cake as well, if I might add, for the most American people.
Seeing as we pay your salaries, I suggest you let us through.
Yes.
It would
I
be
have a
wise.
letter to let us through as well, with the Rockefeller symbol on it, so you know it's legit.
Yes, and
How's
I'll
this
let
cake?
my uncle know about your debauchery down here.
Oh no, no, no. there's no need to let your Uncle Thomas know about their what is that fancy word you used it? The guy who's like the dude with the two pistols has like a woman on either side of him and is just like, he used the word debauchery, I believe. He takes a sip of his watery gin and he comes up over there to you. And Nicholas Rockefeller. Interesting. I do believe I've heard of a Nicholas Rockefeller. Perhaps in a past life. Some people said he was a crazy bastard. Some people said he was maybe a illegitimate son. Man, I can't quite remember.
Well, I don't know anything of the sort. Just flew in from the West Coast doing some business. So
I mean, listen to that West Coast twang when he talks, right? You might be saying to yourself that Nicholas Rockefeller, famous person who has done the things, right? That all the great things that we in America want to achieve, has done them already. Of course you'll forget your life sometimes. I as an industrial man myself, right? Look at my flannel. Industrial as they come.
Just pull the flannel out from your
Flannel.
All right.
he's
So
got the bell bop uniform on over the flannel.
the flannel stays on.
Of course. Mr. Blocks. Look.
Whether or not she has that industrial cake, the flannel stays on.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Combo breaker.
I'm gonna say that. So the one with the two pistols kind of looks at you. He extends a handshake to you, Nikki.
Yeah, I shook his hand.
Oh, it's the first time I've ever had a Rockefeller shake my hand. They call me Reggie, Mr. Reginald. And this fine looking
Looking at
specimen.
Reginald.
This fine looking specimen of a man. He looks over to his friend, like the guy sitting by the rifle, who is now slumped back over again, like with the two girls. And he's like, "That's Bruce." So I'm gonna say, Nikki, I'm gonna say you have to make one final roll to kind of get your way through.
Okay.
So you're gonna drop one facet anyway, from the scene, and you'll drop whatever you roll. But I'm gonna say you can roll this dice twice because I love that Philip is just selling this for you. Like he's hitting that true red, white, and blue blood American.
Oh yeah, my boy.
Hey, Reginald, can I also shake your hand, by the way?
You're holding a cake, sir.
Can you shake my armpit? Listen, your hand touched a Rockefeller's. I've never shaken a Rockefeller's hand before.
He like looks over at Bruce, and Bruce like stumbles over and he just goes, "I'll shake his hand." And he shakes Reginald's hand, and then he goes, "And then I'll shake your armpit."
Yes. Oh, I feel
Just
vindicated. Good
Jams it in there.
3 degrees from a Rockefeller.
3
boys.
3 degrees from a Rockefeller. And then he kind of looks at you and he goes, Can I have a bite of that cake? Maybe a little bit of the cake.
No.
You sure? We can't have a little bit. We take a little slice. We can
Mr.
just.
Block.
It's so. My mouth is watering. Just hold it. I can't. My temptations can be a bit strong sometimes for the
All right, Nikki,
great
make your
red,
roll.
white, and blue
Make your
cake.
roll.
I'm gonna roll using my vengeance.
All right.
It's like
What is my vengeance at, Kyle?
Your vengeance should be at a 5 currently.
Right, I rolled a 5, so 10.
All right. That is amazing. That is more than enough. Reginald kind of looks at you and sits very, very solemnly for a second, or stands very solemnly for a second. And he puts his hand on your shoulder and he goes, "Well, I do say, sir, I apologize. You know how it is. Protecting a Rockefeller is an important business of ours. And I really love it. Now, I do have to say, though, it would be such an honor if you would join me in a little bit of libation He pours himself a nice little rain and gin cocktail. He pours you a rain and gin cocktail as well and hands you a glass.
Oh yeah. He raises up. He's like, "What was your name again?"
Reginald, sir.
I'll put in a word.
To your health and to the Rockefellers. And with that, the Pinkertons swing open the door to the ballroom. And that's where you guys sort of stride in. Colin, you can lose 2 facets by 1. Whatever the vengeance we already dropped to, we'll drop that to a 4. And then what other facet would you like to lose by 1 for that scene?
Vengeance.
All the way down on the vengeance track. Okay. Interesting. I'm kind of wondering where this is heading. Philip, I'm gonna say that you were gonna lose 1 as well because somebody just stuck their big rain and gin soaked hand all up in your business.
If that scene didn't end, I was gonna go a bit more creepy and be like, you could pour some of that drink in my mouth. That's fine, Mr. Rockefeller, sir. You know.
Just wants the Rockefeller backwash. That's awful.
He's as patriotic as they come sometimes.
He is always the most patriotic in the room.
He has to be. That's his whole thing.
So I'm assuming we're not dropping that one. The most patriotic in this room.
No, we're dropping cake. I fought my urges, so my urges went down a little bit.
All right, so we're gonna go down. Oh man, you did fight your urges in that scene. That's some good role playing. That means that we really only have 2 more scenes left before the end of Act 1. And since Hamastav wants to go last, right, Randy? Are you still?
Oh, I thought Act 1 was like completely over already at that point. We all get a scene.
We all get a scene in Act 1.
I thought we were only included in one scene.
Nope. You all get a scene. You all get to lead a scene.
Oh man. Okay.
So
I'm tracking.
No, it's okay. So let's do this. Isaac, can we have Philip Block take a scene as well?
Of course, we can
before
do that.
you. So I'm assuming your scene's going to be with Nikki, yeah?
Yeah. You guys in the ballroom. You guys are still with the French lady.
Yes, the Italian lady with a French accent. Classic.
Is there any other?
No, I don't think so.
Classic.
It's a true hood classic. All right. So what's going to wind up happening here is, do you mind if I describe what's happening as you enter the ballroom first before you decide what you'd like to do for the scene?
As long as you make one ballroom blitz joke.
Absolutely. So as you enter the room, it is a who's who of New York's finest, all in just a tremendous state of jubilation. There is a live band playing the jauntiest jazz music you could ever hope to find. Everyone is in their finest attire. People are Lindy hopping and swinging around one another without a care in the world. There is food being served. There is a constant whirlwind of pastries and hors d'oeuvres and meat and everything, right? Just going all over the place, and floating throughout the air is a fine and constant mist being pumped in through some of the train's internal systems. And actually, as you watch the party go on, the people who are standing the closest to the misters are really starting to lose it, to the point where like some of them are just like standing up like this and like holding their mouths open like a bird feeder and just like gyrating to like the buzz provided to them by this rain. That is the scene. You make out, on a raised dais, they actually built a dais for this train car. There is a long table, and sitting amongst those people is David Rockefeller, Mr. Thomas Rockefeller, the head of the Rockefeller clan, and dressed all in white, as it were, is Miss Jillian Rockefeller, and some man that none of you recognize. You know he's not a Rockefeller. So that's just kind of what's going on. I'm hoping. Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Rockefeller, I do say that this fine mist that you all partake in, it seems as though it's making some people act, how we say, a little pinkish.
Yes, I've actually been feeling pretty strange myself. I
It's been, yeah,
uh,
it's a bit peculiar. Hopefully, it does not affect too much to you, sir. But as long as you're okay with it, we're gonna. I think the best course of action is to deliver this cake and try to maybe prod some people for some information.
Mr. Block,
Yes.
and I look at him like dead in the eyes and put one hand on his shoulder over the cake, I guess.
We
What
hold the
would you-
cake together.
Yes. This is our child, Mr. Block.
We're all in this together.
No, I look him dead in the eyes and I'm like, what would you do if I wasn't a Rockefeller?
Well, I feel like a bit betrayed. My entire identity so far in this trip basically ruined, and that this letter means I have to talk to a different Rockefeller who I haven't even met. So in that way, I might meet two Rockefellers someday. They could both be my friends. So could be bad, could be great.
I like your outlook.
It's very. I got to think outside the box sometimes to make sure my enjoyment is just best I can be. In this case, it's delivering this cake to, I assume, a Rockefeller.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Awesome. So, can we go? They're gonna be crazy. Can we go talk to some of this? This. Can we put the cake? Can we? Do you think it'd be a good idea, Mr. Rockefeller, if we add on some extra mist on this cake?
Uh,
It seems people are enjoying it so much, right? They're pouring in their alcohol outside in the Pinkertons. I feel like that's the best course of action.
yeah. Sure. Sounds
Sure.
good.
Awesome, Mr. Rockefeller. Anything you say, sir. So I want to go up next to the people who are just all like zombified and try to like just move the cake in there.
All right.
And just spread it around.
As you're there's a table close to where the people are like kind of like zonked out.
Oh, can I put it on the table then?
Absolutely. You notice there's a couple of like full glasses as well. Of like empty glasses that were empty, but they're full now of like the water that had kind of misted in.
Is there a serving tray?
There is
Are
a
they on a
serving.
serving tray?
They're not on a serving tray. They're like loose glasses that people had just left. But there is there is a serving tray with like the remnants of a couple hors d'oeuvres left as well.
Can we put the those drinks on top of the serving dish and we can go introduce ourselves to the main table?
Yeah.
Mr. Rockefeller, if you think it's a good idea, sir, I feel like we needed some
Stop
opening
calling me Mr. Rockefeller.
Okay, Nicky Rock.
Just Nick is good.
Just Nick?
Thanks.
Nick. That's okay, Nick. Whatever American patriot like you said, sir.
All right.
Alright.
Sorry,
I got-
keep going.
All right, I got this. I think the serving tray will be great. We'll be able to talk to them. We can talk to them with so much stuff. I always wanted to know how this man made so much money. How they just did it. They did the American dream. They're patriots through and through. I think they'll like to hear from me. Maybe this letter, right? Oh, this letter is from you, so they don't need to know that. It's okay. You got this.
So are you going with him to the main table, or are you gonna let Philip go to the main table first?
I am gonna at the end of the scene, or not at the end of the scene, just right now say, maybe we should just play it safe for a second. Wait for the others.
That's
No
an
need-
excellent plan. Do you want to have a drink?
Yeah, actually, that sounds good. One
Okay.
without that mist.
One without the miss, but I get to cheer with I had to cheer with Nick.
Yeah. I'll cheer.
Awesome. Perfect.
I shake your hand too. Cause yeah.
American hero.
And I say to you, it'll mean more now than
I don't know how, sir. Without you, I wouldn't have a job for 50 years.
let's get a drink.
You two managed to find a couple glasses that don't have as much rainwater in them as the rest. So Nikki, I'm going to say that you could drop one facet by one. Philip, I'm going to say because you moved right underneath the mister and then back. You have to lose 2 points of a facet of your choosing.
Of
Two-
a facet?
A facet. So 2 off of a facet.
I'm gonna
Man.
lose 1 on booze. I'm gonna say that was my last drink of the night.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm gonna
your
say-
last drink ever too with your new buddy Philip Block.
My boy.
That's
Let's go.
amazing.
I'm happy you talked me out of it. Mr. Block would have been a real shit show. He would have been like just so I guess I will have to. I can't choose 1 and 1. It has to be 2 from 1.
Has
huh?
to be 2 from
You
1.
Bingo shot. I was immediately thinking it'd either be the patriotic in the room because you talked me out of talking to the American heroes, or cake because I just danced in front of under this mist that I knowingly was like, this mist is gonna fuck them up.
Uh,
So,
would you perhaps like some input?
yeah, I'll take input from the audience.
I am thinking that because you've kind of moved past this, like I need Rockefeller to I need to have like a Rockefeller to be my friend. Otherwise my life is not complete.
Yeah.
Like you kind of are just like, okay, you're like getting closer to being okay with him just being Nikki rather than the Rockefeller. I would think you would lose it in patriotic and the patriotic and everything in the room.
Yeah,
I think that
Makes
makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Too.
I just didn't want to lose that 5. I'm be honest, but it's okay.
But yeah, you
It's
still
how the
have
game
five.
got
works.
one.
It's how the game works.
But hey, man, you know what though? You're still a hardworking American man.
I'm a hardworking American man that likes cake and will pledge allegiance anytime.
You just stopped fetishizing one of the worst families ever.
You mean the best families? I know.
So Randy, you had kind of stepped away from the keyboard for a second,
did.
but we have found out that your beloved Jillian is probably getting married. She is in a white dress, which is what the wedding cake was for.
Hmm.
So
Hammerstein or whatever his name, doesn't know that yet.
no, he does not. But just so you're aware that we let's pick back up to our scene in the middle of our attempts to poison the Pinkertons, which has gotten us accidentally pressed into service in the kitchen.
All right, indentured servitude. Let's do this.
Indentured
this
servitude.
Is this Act 2, Kyle, or are we still?
Nope,
Act-
this is
We're
our
still
last
finishing up
our
Act
last
one.
scene of
Last
Act
scene?
1. Yep.
All
Which
right,
is Hamastov's scene. So
it's
to
gonna
give
be
you some
Hamastov,
context,
Johan and Melvin, obviously.
to give you some context on what is happening for you, you are at this point, Randy, being ordered around. Like at this point, the Italian woman whose name is Anita has realized that the wedding cake is missing and is freaking out because it's just gone. And is so attempting to very frantically get you guys to make something resembling a 4-tiered wedding cake only out of cupcakes, because that's all you've
Out
got.
of pastries, absolutely. It's going to be all the rage in about 50 years. She doesn't know it yet.
Ahead of her time.
Yeah, it is. But
So
Mr. Hammerstein has an idea. What if we make a tiered cupcake cake? All right. So, Anita, check this out. We get about a dozen or so of these cupcakes, and we kind of stack them on the outer rim here. And then you just get a block, and I like rummage around. There's like a hat box, though. It's about 2-3 inches tall, nice and round. Fits perfectly in between this ring of cupcakes that I have. It was under the counter. Don't ask me why it's there. It was there. Another ring of cupcakes inside the original hat box, unbeknownst to me, as I accidentally half dropped it putting on. A couple more little, like those little Russian stacking dolls.
Mhm.
Hat boxes for days. Bam, bam, bam. I have a tiered cupcake cake. That's a mouthful right there for you. Now, it might not be the prettiest thing. It might be gaudy, and the cupcakes might not match, but it is fantastic looking.
so I'm gonna say that you were just like sloshing around, like grabbing cupcakes. So like you're hitting mixing bowls full of the rainwater. You're up to it.
Oh, probably. You need a roll or?
Oh no. I love the way. So again,
Okay.
As long as you're so the rolls are for things that like are really out of the ordinary, like trying to convince 2 Pinkertons that you're a Rockefeller, right? But the way that you're
Yeah,
describing it
sure.
is totally in character, and as an ex member of Estonian royalty or Estonian aristocracy, I would probably be something you would know. So
Oh, I
Anita
know what it's supposed to end up look like. I might not know what I'm doing to make it, but I know the end result.
Anita thinks this is brilliant because she is sitting there. She's like, She like puts both hands on your cheeks, and she's just like, if I knew you a little better, I would kiss you on the mouth. This is a brilliant idea. Oh,
I appreciate that, Anita. However, there's only one for me.
This will be perfect. This will be perfect for Jillian's wedding. You have all of the colors that she wants. You have all of the cakes that she wants. It's brilliant. It is brilliant, Hamastav.
Hammerstav, not the most intelligent individual, mind you, is like, well, wedding's a little soon to be talking and all, but I'm hoping one day.
Oh no, the wedding is today.
No, I'm not quite ready for that. I mean, I'm not dressed,
She
but I can get a change.
she kind of looks at you peculiarly and like kind of hands you the tray. Stavi, the train is for Jillian's wedding. Oh,
Well, realization might just be setting in for Mr. Hammerstav here, and he's not sure how to process it. So as the tray may have been handed to him, he was not on the receiving end of that hand.
is he dropping the cupcakes?
You have to hold it to drop it. So I would argue, yeah. If you would have reached out to grab the cupcakes in any form or fashion, he would have maybe held them. But yeah, I'm going to say the cupcakes are most likely down the front of him and possibly Anita at this point.
And the two of them are just looking at each other. What? I am gonna have to make more cupcakes. And like you realize there's like the frosting is especially like liquidy. And it's like all like part of it's like on her skin, and you realize too like how like in the weeds she's been. So she's like frazzled. She's like, cupcakes. I have to. Oh, Stavi, I worry about you. Why is it that I've known you for 20 minutes, and you are the most brilliant cook hand I've ever had. She grabs you by the cheeks again, and I don't know why, but rubbing your face, your stupid face, brings me comfort. She looks at you a little bit, and then like all of a sudden she kind of like lets one hand drop and just very tenderly like kind of caresses it, and she goes, "You really do love someone, don't you?"
There's a twinkle in Mr. Stav's eye. There's still time. We can save this. As he frantically goes about to whatever you make cupcakes out of on a moving train in a short amount of time.
She looks at you. She's like, "Stop. We will make the cupcakes. And you will go to her. And you will stop this wedding.
Oh, man. It's about
Do
to
it
happen,
for
boys.
love. You brilliant, ugly man." She just like,
Ugly.
All right, that was out of pocket. Hold on a second.
Johan's going to look at like Melvin. Do you understand anything that just happened there?
Like you hear stories about like people just like doing stupid stuff and like, oh, do it for love. What is it? Less than 20 minutes.
Son, I listen, I
The
don't
French,
know
Italian, Estonian thing.
I don't know how Italian women work, but I got to tell you, I'm not sure if I am scared or excited for our friend.
Maybe we've been barking up the wrong tree this entire time. We just got to get like, we should have just gotten like one Italian woman to walk us in, and we'd be fine.
They are a force of nature. I can tell you with utter certainty. I was in a shootout once, just outside of Naples, and man, let me tell you, yeah, oh boy.
All right. We should not look this metaphorical gift horse in its metaphorical mouth, and we should just.
So Stav, I guess, is going to be somehow cleaning himself up while the two of you are making cupcakes.
Well, Melvin, I spent almost 60 years as a gunslinger. I could probably spend about 15 minutes as a pastry chef.
Yeah,
What do you
David Rockefeller is probably not going anywhere.
Want to make him a special cupcake?
Not personal enough.
No. And I like pull out like a vial of something. I mean,
Pulls out some TNT in a bag.
I
I
mean,
want to
some-
look him in the eyes.
you can look him in the eyes while you're serving him a rat poison cupcake.
Hmm.
What do you
We'll have,
think?
it for, we'll have it for backup. We'll have it for backup.
All right. So Nate, I'm gonna have you and I both make a roll because neither of us are bakers.
Hey,
And
ever
then-
heard of baking with hatred? Because that's what I'm doing.
It's the name of my
If
new
you believe
cookbook. What are you
hard enough,
talking
you'll
about?
fail. I mean,
I got a 9.
I also got a 9. So I'm gonna drop my seeks an honorable death to a 3. I don't want to die anymore.
having a good
Oh,
life now.
Can you drop my vengeance to a 5?
You got it. So we successfully managed to make a whole bunch of these cupcakes.
Excellent.
Special.
And
Only
there
took
is-
24 minutes.
Yep.
All right.
And there is one cupcake, our special cupcake that I'm gonna assume Hamastov does not know about.
Well, I expressed disinterest in the poisoning scheme in the first car we were in.
That's true. So you have no idea that the red cupcake is
Is it the topper?
2000%.
I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, it's the one that's underneath the bride figure for sure.
Okay.
It is for sure poison. I'm gonna say that Anita has at this point let us kind of take over and is like helping you get ready. She's like grabbing other cooks and like ripping parts of their outfits off and like making you change middle of the car. Okay. Do you want to work with me? Do you want to talk about how you're going to do this?
Kind of more of an in the moment kind of fella.
Stupid man. Stupid. You cannot just go in the moment when you are charging in for love. What are you going to say to her?
Well, I was going to start with a hello.
What do you love about her? You cinder block looking Estonian god.
Oh man, I feel like my character should be making a roll for this because he's not even
Absolutely.
sure
He
why
absolutely
he's
should.
fascinated with this
Yes,
woman.
he absolutely should. I totally and completely agree.
Okay, well I rolled a 1.
Do you want to make this an automatic success?
No, not particularly.
Well, so here's my okay.
Well,
Hear me out.
I'm using charge.
Yep.
If I critically fail or whatnot, what happens to my facet?
You just lose 2 anyway.
Okay.
So here's my thought process, and I'll see if the rest of our esteemed council is okay with this. But you're going to be charging into this. You're going to have to go into that ballroom anyway. I am okay as the game master to delay the effect of you losing your charge down to a 1 until after you have gone in and said whatever it is that you need to say to this woman.
All right, we can do that.
I like that.
All right.
we
Yeah,
made that
I'll push. I'll push the roll for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we made that like the first scene in scene 2. Would that be like how he just comes in there, like just barges in, and just boom, 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 boom?
Well, you'll see in a second.
Perfect.
So Anita kind of looks at you. She seems very. What do you want to tell us what you say, or are you just going to say I rolled really well for it, and Anita is on the verge of tears?
Oh man, I was never a heart-spoken fella, but it's gonna be something along the lines of. As he clears his throat and actually thinks about what he might be saying. Well, Jillian, you might not know me, but I am Hammerstov. Now, you might not know this, but I think you're amazing. Coincidentally, my name is amazing. No, really, it really is. And then it's just gonna be small talk from there. And then, yeah, it's gonna go terribly bad. That's how the plan is.
Somehow, Anita is just like so moved because, like,
Yes.
yes,
It's
you sound,
heartfelt.
you sound like an utter moron. But she kind of like looks at you and she goes, so many men spend their whole lives trying to try this or try that trick to get this woman to love them. And so few of them speak from the heart. I don't know if you are the biggest idiot I've ever met
That's the one.
or the bravest idiot I've ever met,
That's not the one.
but I am glad to have met you.
Well, I'm not like I'm just going 2 cars down.
Oh. But if she accepts you, you will be 2 cars down and a lifetime away from me forever. She like gives you she's clearly romantic, but like not so much of a softie that she's going to break. So she just like grabs your shoulders. She goes, I'm proud of you. You might need this too, just in case it doesn't go well. And she hands you one of the meat cleavers.
What am I supposed to do with this?
She goes, hold on to it. Some women give you locks of their hair. Great women give you bladed weapons. And with that, she kind of shoves the three of us into the middle of the train.
Which one of us is carrying the pastries?
Oh, you are.
Okay. All right.
You
Very
got
good.
the second. This is pastry round 3. Y'all thought this was going to be a heist. It's Ratatouille. So we're going to just say that like during this giant I'm walking on sunshine Hamastav makeover montage, the wedding ceremony has actually started. And so
Mid-train. Okay.
yeah, mid-train ride, baby. And the doors sort of swing open as the in just classic dramatic fashion, as the Reverend just says, and if anybody has anything that they would like to say that these two should not be married, let them speak now or forever hold their peace. At which point the doors swing open and Johan, Melvin, and Hamastad come in. Randy, are we okay for this to be your beautiful confession moment?
God, I wasn't ready. Yes.
All right. Are you saying it, or are you just gonna say it? This is when you make that confession. You make that 10.
Wait, what about the Pinkertons?
They let him through because they're scared of Anita. Frankly,
Okay.
I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, besides Hammerstav.
Hamasav is the only one crazy enough for her. So you're gonna make that incredible confession to her,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna forget all about the fact that you liked her at all.
It's just like a moment of realization, or just oblivion. Like, oh, what am I
Both.
here? Okay.
And you can say and it's up to you of whether that was brought on by the rainwater or the fact that like now that you're actually looking at her in the flesh, maybe she's not that great.
Yeah, she's
Maybe-
not a 14-foot tall lipstick model, and I'm just not really feeling that anymore.
Where's
Maybe
my she-giant? Hold
Yeah.
on a second.
maybe it's Anita. It could be anything.
I'd say there's a combination of the 3 factors,
Yeah.
truthfully.
But at this point, as you say that, Thomas Rockefeller, head of the Rockefeller clan, kind
Tommy,
of looks,
okay.
kind of sees Nikki, sees the 3 of us, and realizes that we are not supposed to be on this train.
Mm.
At which point he yells, "Kill them!" And the whole wedding ballroom just turns into a ballroom blitz.
Yeah, you did it.
Now,
I'm
I
so
only got a
excited.
couple sentences. Do I get one more moment to speak, or am I done?
Oh, it's up to you. If you want to, I wasn't sure. It didn't look like you wanted to do your speech.
No.
but if you
I
wanna do
mean,
your speech-
in reaction to the getting killed.
yes. Well, no, because now we're in Act
Or
2.
that's gonna
That's
be
our
Act 3.
complication.
Okay.
We are in Act 2 now. So this is our montage. So you get, everybody gets 2 or 3 sentences now to talk about what they're doing now that like the people who are like rainwatered out are just like losing their freaking marbles. The Pinkertons from the other room are running in with their guns, as you know, ineffective as those guys are.
How many Rockefellers were in this cabin?
There are 4 Rockefellers. There is Thomas, there is David Rockefeller, there is Jillian Rockefeller, and then there's the soon-to-be member of the Rockefeller clan who is definitely taking Jillian's last name.
I would too.
Yeah. So this actually goes in reverse turn order. So Randy, you actually have the first one.
Oh, initiative. All right.
Well, so we
I'm
do
not too
reverse
keen
turn
on
order.
getting killed, but I have been ousted from political functions before. So I might say I have a little bit of an edge in this scenario. So Mr. Hammerstav, quick on his feet, if you will, looks around and realizes behind him are some Pinkertons. In front of him are some Rockefellers. Some Pinkertons and some Rockefellers. The Pinkertons are obviously taking orders from the Rockefellers, so he's not too worried about the drunkards at this moment. So he would probably grab, tray in one hand and some cupcakes in other hand and begin launching them at the Rockefellers. I guess I'm just going to kind of roll because I love random chance.
Yeah.
I'm going to say,
Especially knowing that there's a loaded poison cupcake.
I
in there
don't
as well.
know there's a loaded poison.
No,
one.
you don't. But,
But
we do.
I'm going to say probably the red one is the first one I grab. I mean, just because it's at the top.
Okay.
So I'm not going to throw it at Jillian as much as I might be disgusted with her right now. She's still a lady in a dress, and that is rude. But we are going to start from the top with Tom, which will be a number 1 or 2 on my dice. A 3 or 4 will be Mr. Dave, and then fake Rockefeller will be the last 2. And I rolled a 1. So that'll be head Rockefeller Tom. Do I need to roll to see if it hits him in the face, or is that
No.
kind of just as happens?
You know what? I'm gonna say so. In a montage like this, the first thing you are doing, the guns are coming out, bullets are starting to fly, and the first thing you shoot is a cupcake.
You got it.
I love it. Hamastov woke up and chose violence. The way that this is going to work is you're just going to pick one of your facets to drop by 2 points. And then I will say that the poison.
I'm going to say traumatic past because I'm really pulling from my history to enact this moment.
Yeah, love it. All right, and then we're going to go in reverse order. So that means that Isaac, you are next in montage order, my friend.
All right. So I guess it's me and Nicky by the by more drunkards over there who are just all like dazed out. Also, I assume pulling their guns, or is it just Pinkertons?
Pinkertons, and like some people are just like waving their canes around trying to hit people. Some people like brought their own guns from home.
Oh, cool. All right. Well,
you know.
Oh, this is great. All right. So then I would just, in trying to defend Mr. Rockefeller right next to me, basically as a bodyguard, I will swing my guitar case at the nearest person, smashing him in the head, and then trying to unlock it at the same time. So it swings up. I guess rather hit him in the stomach. It swings up, hits him in the face, and then I let it go. I just drop it, and pulling out the big iron train iron, and just start just wailing into people, being like, "This is for America and everything you've done, you pink sons of guns. You come in here into this cabin on the most holiest of days and demand to just bring hellfire? No. I, the blockiest head on the block, will not allow this to partake." And so I just want to swing at a couple guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do feel for the lives of the Rockefellers. So I'm trying to also scream and be like, just get out, go to the conductor.
So are you standing in front of Nicky, or are you cutting a path towards the Rockefellers?
Nicky, we should get to your family. It's the safest way out of here. We need to cut a path.
You just cut a path?
Is my montage next?
Yes, it is. Okay, what facet are you dropping down by 2?
Oh, it has to be industrial because I'm using my big old muscles that I've built over the years.
I would agree. Okay.
How is you gonna drop by 1 or 2?
2. Down from a 5 to a 3.
I'm a big old 3 stack.
Big old 3 stack. Look at this 3 stack.
Perfect. Love it so much.
Yep, Nicky, you are up, my friend.
All right. With mine, I would like to motion to Mr. Block to follow me to like whatever the nearest table is.
I oblige.
What?
I oblige.
Okay. And we're gonna flip the table over, facing like wherever most of the gunfire is coming from. And I'm gonna push Nicky's head down with me and hunker right there for a second.
All right. And what facet are you dropping? You can drop your 1 to a 0. I'm cool with that. Or you could drop your vengeance for the Rockefellers to a 1 as well.
I'll drop the heroin.
Okay. Down to a 0. That means I am next. In the middle of all this gunfire, I see my friends in really bad place. I see Hamastov, who at this point, I feel like I have so much respect for this man now. Like, I mean, what a king, you know? Shows up
once upon a time,
tells her that he loves her, and then is just like, you know what? Don't actually care. Really just kind of here for the lulz. And so I'm gonna try my best to like protect him. And for like just a second, I feel like I'm kind of like in that I'm back. Like there's sound of gunfire and chaos and people running around. And for a second, I'm back there in the Old West before I shoot that girl. And without even realizing it, I actually grab my pistol and I'm gonna shoot. We'll say Bruce, the worst of the 2 Pinkertons, as they like come up behind him. We'll say that like he's kind of coming for Hamastov, and I just go to like without even realizing that I do it. It's like it's just instinctual. And I'm like, Ham, Stabby, whatever. We gotta move, buddy. I'm gonna drop that from a 5 to a 3. Melvin.
So Melvin's going to survey the scene, look at all of his compatriots, like taking cover, hiding, like getting ready for all this, and he just looks at David Rockefeller running through and looks back and grabs his revolver and follows David.
All right. So you're going to cut your way across the dance floor. And then now, of course, this keeps in reverse order as well. So that means that we are now fully in Act 3. And that means that, Randy, you will have the first scene of our final act, my friend.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
He never does.
So what happened with Cupcake?
Well, as you look up, you can see Thomas Rockefeller choking to death.
Fast acting. Okay. Or was it just a cupcake? We may never know.
Who knows?
May never know.
He's just very allergic to whatever was in those cupcakes.
Totally
yes.
unrelated.
He's a diabetic, and that's not going well.
Oh God.
People don't know medicine yet.
We just drink whiskey and call it a day.
We definitely
All right.
did not fill that with poison.
Definitely did not. Oh man. All right. So heartbroken, possibly charged for assault, and maybe getting shot here in a moment. Savi has a couple options. Only one of them seems fair, though. You know what? He was already kicked out of one major event of his life. He's not going down without a fight this time. I was trying to resist the murder hobo aspect of the prospector in me,
Lean into it.
but the meat cleaver is going to have to come out.
Anita.
And of course, as I was professing my love to Jillian, I was standing in front of her, who may or may not be becoming my ticket out of here. So what do you need to roll for that? I would assume.
You could do this, but this is an actual scene. So you're just doing this by yourself, which is great.
Okay.
So you're standing right above them, and Jillian is flabbergasted that you just ripped this cupcake into her dad's face, and now he's dying. She's like, "Who are you? Why did you make such a weird speech? I've never met you before in my life."
Sometimes, Jillian, you just wouldn't understand. Meat cleaver to throat. Don't kill her. She's a hostage.
All right. Are you doing anything else with her, or are you just putting the meat cleaver to the throat?
I would like to say I am slowly moving myself. We're in the very last car, correct?
Yes, we're up in the engine, so we're
in the first car.
First car, yeah.
Oh man, I can't. That's a lot of cars to get through with the hostage. You know what? I think I'm moving to the engine side. I am inching my way to the coal carrier.
All right. And now what are you going to drop by to? What facet are you going to drop by? Or is there more that you would like for this scene?
I think that would ultimately end that scene. I can't get too much into it, you know.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
So we watch you drag Jillian away from the wedding at meat cleaver point into the engine room. What are you dropping by to then?
I think all hopes of me becoming a reputable prospector are out at this point.
All right. I was gonna say I feel like that was more traumatic past because you're like, I'm not getting ousted again, but
it very well might be.
It's up to you.
But I'm also a felon now.
Either one. What do you feel? However does the spirit move you, sir?
You know what? Let's drop the traumatic past actually, because I am pulling on those and it's not happening again moments. I am gonna end up on top this time if it's the last darn thing I do. And if all else fails, I may still go become a gold prospector up in Alaska.
Well, you definitely have our golden ticket.
I do. You got that.
We never said what kind of gold you were prospecting for.
I am digging for that gold.
All right. So that means that our next person, because it's in reverse turn, so Nate, you actually get the last turn of the game. Which I'm kind of excited for. So that means that Mr. Philip Block.
Oh man.
You just, by the way, so this in all of the chaos, so we all see Stabby drag Jillian into this room.
Okay. And so who's left in the room is the other Plankerton.
Yep, Reginald and a couple of the
Pinkerton.
other Pinkertons as well. Like his goons are there.
All right. Nick, I appreciate you saving my life again. An American hero through it all.
Right. Block.
Yeah.
Give me your letter, the one that I gave you.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you. Listen, Melvin,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
trying to attack the Rockefellers. He wants the Rockefellers dead.
It can't
Okay.
happen. Can't happen.
Right. It's up to you, buddy. Go for it.
Melvin,
Yep.
he's the one that's against us.
Correct. He's got a
American
mole the
threat.
whole time. Take care of him. I'm gonna go get the other Rockefellers. And
Are the
Kid-
Pinkertons in on it with Melvin, or should I get them? Or should I recruit them?
I don't know about the Pinkertons.
Listen, I'm a steel worker, real worker. I think they'll listen to an American-made man like myself. So with that, I call to the Pinkertons. I stand up, waving my iron around. Ben, look, I have the flannel, I have the steel. There's nothing left to stop us. But you must stop shooting each other. We're all Americans here. There's one man who walked out this room that we need to chase, and that's Melvin. He's gonna kill the Rockefeller, the male Rockefeller, I might add. We need to make sure it doesn't happen here. So please, we need to work together, make a nice orderly line, and chase that man down.
You're gonna have to make a roll for that, buddy.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Like I love you dearly. You're gonna have to make a roll. You're gonna have to drop one of those facets. It doesn't matter what the facet is. You're gonna have to drop it to a 0 because there's
So
no way
epic.
that either roll it or 0 it because like that was.
I wrote a 4, and I'm using it has to be my industrial. I'll always be patriotic in the room. I'm trying to get American spirit to be a 7.
That I'm gonna say that is a failure.
Okay.
At which point Reginald just is like, "Can we please just shoot this madman and be done with it?" And they just open up a fuselage of bullets in your general direction. So I don't know. I'm gonna say that you're not wounded, but so however you'd like to get out of that.
Cool. I'm gonna just smash the mist to create a smoke screen
Okay. Smash one of the misters above you with the
right above me,
steel bar.
and then that will drop my patriotic my patriotic to 0 then to try to escape throughout the room to then chase him on myself. My
All right,
last American decency that I have.
Oh my God. Okay. While that is happening, Nikki, you are up.
Okay.
Wait, is that your scene? I'm sorry, Isaac.
Yeah,
it just-
I'm gonna chase down to Melvin, so I imagine I'll have to wait to Melvin's scene to then interrupt.
Yep.
Sweet.
Or I could say, Nikki, have a great one. And then I just come out, meet you on the other end. I rip off my bell thing to show my flannel.
And I say, which of the guys is the one that got hit by the cake?
Thomas Rockefeller, the head of the Rockefeller clan.
Okay. As you're running off, I call over to you. Check with Thomas after this whole thing settles. I'll have a word with you.
Another Rockefeller to add to my Rockefeller stamp collection.
It's like Pokemon. Collect all the Rockefellers.
Collect all the Rockefellers.
Yes.
Oh man. But keep in mind that Thomas Rockefeller is the one that is dead.
Oh, he's already dead?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's totally dead. That
Oh,
poison
okay,
cupcake just messed him up.
Then I
Oh.
say to him, whichever, same word tracking, except for
Just
insert other. Yeah.
All right.
The one I'm saving, right?
David. Yeah.
All right. Is that all you're doing for your scene, Nikki, or what else are you doing?
Oh, sorry. I thought that was the end of block still.
It is still,
For my scene, so he's running over that way. I'm gonna run towards David Rockefeller. Is he close enough to me that I can
you can. So do you want anyone else for the scene, or is it just going to be you?
This one's just gonna be me.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to run over to David Rockefeller, and he kind of looks at you, and he just goes, "You again?"
I pull out my baseball bat and I slam it right into his head. Like not hard enough to kill him, but like to severely. I want to like do some do some damage.
Yeah. You do some damage. He like crumples onto the table and like falls into the table. Like you like he goes down onto the table and then onto the floor. In the middle of like, and he's like head is bleeding. He's like, what?
I put the bat like up on his neck and
Yeah.
I like lean my knee into it and I pull out the letter and a pen and I say, "You're gonna sign this."
Screw you, you illegitimate bastard.
I like slam my head into his head, just like crack it open.
Okay. All right, fine. We'll sign it.
All right. As soon as he has it signed, I just like put it like on top of his chest or whatever. And then I take the bat and I smash his head and kill him.
Wait, so you told Phil
Yeah,
to
he's just
go
gonna
look-
find he's just gonna find it on him. Because that guy's not gonna give it to him.
Oh man. So but you that's so many layers because you told Philip to go find Melvin to stop him from killing David, and then you killed David.
Yep.
I'm assuming that drops your so you're dropping your vengeance to a 1 then.
Yep.
Wow, that completes the arc. You kind of stand up from David and you're like, you feel disgust for like what you've done, but not enough to feel bad about it. You're not quite sure why.
As as I'm like standing up for this, I like the camera pans like forebodingly on the grip that I have on my baseball bat.
Oh man, I love that.
And that's good for me.
All right. Johan is just like trying his darndest to like find some sort of chaos. And if you're okay with this, Randy, I'd like to have my scene with you. All right. So he
Yeah, let's do this.
Johan slams his way into the engine room.
Hmm.
He's got the gun. I've got my gun and my hand is not shaking. I mean, it's shaking a little bit, but it's not as bad as it usually is. Oh my Lord. It's a regular old brouhaha out there. Hey, Stabby, where? I'm like going to turn and I see you have like the meat cleaver to her throat. Stabby, why is there a screaming Rockefeller girl with a meat cleaver pressed to her neck?
Well, they were going to shoot us.
Yes, that's what bodyguards do, Stabby.
This is a bodyguard.
No, Stabby. That is our meal ticket.
No,
Look.
no, that would have been Anita. She can cook. You tried those cupcakes?
Not as much as Thomas tried those cupcakes.
Yeah, I didn't mean to throw it that hard.
Yeah, Muddy. That was definitely you. That was all you, and you should have played professional baseball instead of prospecting. But look at me. All right. Now, this isn't the whole Rockefeller clan, right? There's a million of these suckers. They're like rich little cockroaches. We can still get money out of this girl. Think about it, Stabby.
Well, I don't want to kill her. I mean, I don't love her anymore.
I know.
But I don't want to kill her. Maybe.
Well, then let's put
There's
the
still an
meat-
engineer right behind us, right?
Oh, he's terrified.
Yeah, maybe he should leave.
If he leaves, who drives the train?
Well, there's a lever here. We just stop it after we disconnect the car.
Or, hear me out, we drop the meat cleaver. She's not going to get away. Do you need some convincing, Stabby?
Well, I want to hear the rest of the meat cleaver plan.
Oh, great. I'm going to shoot Jillian in the leg with my last bullet.
What did you use your other bullet on?
I had one bullet to kill Bruce, who was going to kill you.
Fair point.
I'm gonna roll for that. Actually, I'm not gonna roll. I'm gonna drop my.
I'm still a fan of disconnecting that rest of that train with all the men with guns.
How about the rest of our crew?
Well, they have about half an act to get over here.
All right, Stabby. Look, man. Drop the meat cleaver now that we know she can't walk.
Do we have like any type of items with those? Can we maybe just like oh, you actually shot her already. Okay. Yeah, no need for any meat flavor.
Do you want to tie all right, I'm gonna like tie her a tourniquet out of my bellhop uniform. It's already red anyway. Who cares if we get more red on it?
Oh yeah, good choice.
As I'm like doing this, I'm like looking at Stavi. I'm like, listen, Stavi, I gotta be honest with you. I didn't think any of this would work. I honestly thought I was gonna get gunned down by a Pinkerton about 15 minutes ago.
Well, I've seen the Pinkertons. I think they drink too much to shoot straight.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey, listen, man. Real. If I can be real with you for just a second, I misjudged you. Keep in mind, there is still a screaming girl in the background.
Yeah, we're kind of tuning her out.
Yeah,
at this
we've
point.
ignored her. This is a bro moment. He's like, but I misjudged you. This whole time I thought you were a stark raven loon. And I gotta be honest, man, I think you actually might have it in you to be a man of real grit.
Well, maybe after we get our meal ticket, you can show me that gold mountain you were to tell me about.
I mean, that is a cat house. That is a whorehouse, sir. But I would, you know what, Stabby? I like kind of pat you on the shoulder. For once in my life, I think maybe going out and living a little with you might not sound so bad.
Oh man, that's adorable. Let's do it.
I am gonna drop my my facet of seeks an honorable death to a 1. Me and my boy Stavi are hanging out after this, baby. And as my last thing, I just kind of nudge him on the elbow a little bit, and he's like, "You know what else might be helpful for our fine living before we shoot this train car off? Just saying, a fiery blooded Italian woman that makes great pastries is might find selection for a wife there, Stabby. Just a thought I had."
Well, meat cleavers kind of scare me.
Ah,
Wait
come
for
on,
your wife,
Stabby.
maybe.
Oh, I'm a little old for that rodeo. But hey, man, little cleaver.
Will you get her on in here? If nothing else, we won't be hungry.
All right. Excuse me for a second. Grab. I'm gonna walk out, grab Bruce's gun from his body, and just go back and try to grab Anita for you. Real bro moments only. All right, and that means that the last scene of Act 3 is gonna be Melvin freaking Lasnam, who is lost in the middle of this chaos right now.
The boy.
He is looking wildly for David.
The last place that you saw David would have been on the dais.
That's exactly where I'm going.
As you arrive to the dais, the groom, whoever it was that Jillian was going to get married to, has completely and totally fled. Thomas looks like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. His face is lined with these like purple things from like the arsenic. I don't even know if that's what arsenic does. I don't care. And you see what is left of David Rockefeller. The rest of him looks great, but his face looks like it's been ground into a dirty pulp. Wooden splinters line what used to be his skull cavity. It's just meat. It's just formless, amorphous meat, just attached to what was his neck. And sitting on top of it is a letter, a note, a little envelope.
As soon as he gets like to see this, he just stops dead in his tracks and no. He's gonna like walk closer and just inspect the body.
All right. Are you opening the note? Are you looking at the note?
Yeah. No.
I think if you're all right with
Matt.
it, I think the only person who should be narrating this note is Nikki in Nikki's voice. I don't actually know what's in the note, which I love. This is sweet.
A letter to Mr. Philip Block. Philip, it has been an honor getting to know you. You're one of the most hardworking and, as you would put it, patriotic characters I've ever met. It is with my distinguished pleasure I recommend you sit at an executive level within the Rockefeller Company. I, being of sound mind and body, do believe you should hold a position of true power, as a man of true patriotism and as a man of industry. Yours truly, and with sincerity. And then it's signed by David Rockefeller.
I'm just he's gonna read this and like he's going to unload the revolver into what remains of David Rockefeller.
Nice.
Blood. And at this point, by the way, the gunfire has just made the sprinklers just go absolutely haywire in this ballroom. You notice, Melvin, that the door to the engineer's cabin is sort of hanging open as well. Is there anything else you would like to do for your final scene, sir?
Melvin's just gonna find a chair, sit down, and wait for Philip to come by to give him his letter.
Oh, that's sweet. Can we say, just for continuity's sake, can we say that you're just sitting with your empty revolver in David's chair?
Yeah, just covered in blood.
Oh, that's so good. All right. And so now we come to our final moments, guys, in this After the Rain campaign. This is now the montage. I think if everyone's okay with this, I'm gonna throw turn order out of the window, the proverbial train window. I'd like Nikki to go last. If we're all cool with that. And so
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for maybe Philip to go first.
Perfect. So Mr. Philip Block goes and finds Melvin sitting in the chair of the Rockefeller I was supposed to save. As I get to the chair, I look at the dead body, look back at Melvin. You
Letter.
French son of a bitch. You did it. You did it. Something that no one else could do but bring America down.
You see, as you say stuff like that, and like as you go on, like he looks furious, but just confused.
I can do nothing but support you, sir. In this time, the Rockefellers have done nothing for this country. They destroyed our industry and closed down shops that I have worked in. I have no recollection of my steel mill for a reason, and it's because of them. They're the ones that poisoned us. And so for you, sir, I have to say, the French are my new home.
Well, I'm assuming that at some point Melvin hands you the letter.
Yeah. Yeah. One last gift for you before the old clock out.
This letter is riddled with lies.
Yeah, well, so was his life. Take it and get political power.
Well,
Do what he didn't. Be good. Or
I'm gonna do
end up like him.
I'm gonna do exactly what this man never did. I'm gonna sit at this fucking table and eat this cake. Just like these rich bastards did for centuries. I just put down the iron steel on the table. I just eat cake.
Love it.
Bet you can have your cake and eat it too.
All
I
that
love it. That
Philip
leaves the
Block can
future of
do.
the Rockefeller Corporation in foggy hands. All right, we'll go to Melvin then next.
So Melvin, after all of this, he just feels like there's nothing left. There's no more. He just sits there and waits. He waits. He watches, like he sits with Philip, watches him eat his cake, and I'm assuming he eventually leaves. He just
Do you want some
stays.
cake?
I can't eat after this.
It's pretty good wedding cake.
I think I see bits of David on there, so I just want to eat around that.
We said eat the rich.
God, I wish we talked more.
Anything else you would like to add in your final montage, Melvin?
Melvin's just gonna sit there and wait until finally the police arrive, and he's just going to take the fall. He's going to say that he alone, broken, crashed the wedding, killed everybody, and that he's got the gun to prove it.
Oh man. All right. Randy, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? I guess it's just you and me in this engine room, man. I
Well,
guess no
it
one
sure
else
is.
I figure we wait for as long as we can, but
Well, I'll go first. So I think at this point I kind of realized no one else is coming. They're all in their own little world, except for the people who might be coming at this point.
I'm coming.
Are those gentlemen with guns out there?
No, me and Anita show up. I would like to be part
Right.
of this. Okay.
Well, yeah. You made it back, but so did possibly Pinkertons and or Coachman. All right. Old Jill over here, she ain't going nowhere. Engineer's in his little corner, just feeding coal like we told him to. He's doing a good old engineer things. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how to actually disconnect the train. However, this is a very unique train in the sense that there is just a pin holding in the cars to the train. I don't know why they didn't think to lock them. Who would, you know? So I just take my nice little cane made of beautiful, ebony and ivory, and all that cool fun stuff, and take the meat cleaver, just go ding, 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 and disconnect the engine. And yeah, we're slowly pulling away from the good old Rockefeller train.
I love it.
And
So-
with that, I will grab Anita and I will embrace her with a sweet kiss. End scene.
For my montage, I'm going to say that we successfully sell Jillian back to her family for an undisclosed amount of money.
We're doing good.
But it's weird that the Rockefeller Corporation didn't really put up much of a fight about it. In fact, the Rockefeller Corporation paid us substantially more than we asked for. And really the only thing other than the ransom money that came in exchange for Jillian's return was a single railroad tie. Just a lapel pin of a railroad tie. We're going to say that Johann Jobson does truly make this his last job. And he gets to hang out a little bit with Hamastav, whose epitaph no longer really applies to him. Hamastav is now a rich man with a beautiful wife. And the unpart, again, he lives to see the unpart of his good pal Hamastav's epitaph gets stricken from his name. He becomes Hamastav the Fortunate. The two of them flee to Mexico, where Johann just sort of enjoys their friendship and the friendship of him and Anita for a little bit before he tells him it's time to go his own way and his own path in his old age. And Johann, who has only ever sought to die a gruesome death for the mistakes that he made in his past, finds one last bit of peace as he sits on a beach by himself one night with a single cupcake he bought from a local baker. He takes a bite of it, rests himself up against the nearest tree, and passes peacefully in his sleep, looking out over the ocean and realizing that maybe his final years were truly worth living. And I think that leaves us to Mr. Nicky Rockefeller himself.
Yeah, we got to go back a little ways on the timeline here.
Yeah. Go for it.
To before the Mr. Block and Melvin have their correspondence. So I placed a note on top of David's chest, and I stand up and kind of tuck my shirt, and I start walking towards the exits of the train, and I pick up a suit coat that's on one of the chairs and put it on. And as I'm walking, there's flashbacks happening in my mind, and I'm remembering my wife, and I'm remembering my son, and I'm remembering losing my job the ad agency and turning to drugs, having a bit of a psychotic break, starting to think that maybe I was destined for greater things and maybe I was a Rockefeller. But I wasn't. I never was. And I squeezed the baseball bat one more time as I think of teaching my son to play in Little League and where I got the bat from. And I drop it, I poke one hole in one of the misters and spritz myself one more time, slick the hair back, point it, open the train door, and step out into oblivion.
Oh,
That's great.
and that, folks, is our campaign of After the Rain. It ended as chaotically as I had hoped it would. That was
Pretty chaotic.
I'm okay with it though.
I
If
thought
you
it was
have
fun.
enjoyed this
Yeah.
game, or if you are interested in checking out After the Rain, if you're watching this, and we hope that you still are, because this is a long one, but you can check out the email link for the Kickstarter on our webpage. And if you're watching this in February, then the Kickstarter is live. And if you're not watching it in February, you can still probably get an electronic copy of it or a physical copy of it from your friendly local game store. So please be sure to do all of that. Huge thank you to Melvin Lasnam, Hamastav, no longer the unfortunate, Nikki Rockefeller, and Mr. Philip Block. I've been Kyle out for Desks and Dorks. You guys have been awesome. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Goodbye.